bet you, man. You said that's an example like that.
Hustle on the mission, grinding for that spot, a brand new pot to piss in. Trying to school my partners home, they pay attention. Sticking to my vision, on the road to the riches. Every single day, I'm a hustle on the mission. Trying to get 100 M's, nigga, I ain't kidding. I'm on a mission, 24/7, 365, until I reach the heavens.
They got one word. It's a shirt coat. It's a show. It's a shirt, but it's gonna be my coat too. So it's a show. So it's a shirt. It's a show. It's a curtain shirt. It's the coat and the shirt. It's a shit. It's a curtain turtleneck. Okay. Shout out to the lady with the blue. Wait a minute. Oh, it's a lady here with a do-rag. And she's like, yeah. She been here the whole time. I did not see her. She like, yeah. She's no, she, you know, she like, she got her 2 front teeth taken out to make sure I die. I'm gonna take it right through. What is wrong with you? What? That's easy access. Very box. What? Fuck y'all. That's real shit. Y'all don't love pussy because she do. I was saying it, but I wasn't gonna say nothing. I wasn't gonna stay in the do-rag. Y'all gotta start respecting people. We love these people. That's why they said it. They love us too. This is a family. That's why the fuck I stay over here. I'm not saying ain't bothering nobody. This is a family. My lesbians all happy and shit. Ain't fucking with it. These nice and your shit. Can you damn these bitches? Can you put these motherfuckers on living room temperature? Oh, yeah. Get paid. So these motherfuckers don't motion like temperature. Shit. Motherfucker breathing white people. It's her birthday. What's her name, baby? Alila. Kilo, like a kilo in the beat. How old you know? Oh, look, I got a kid, 34. Is it a nigga named Remote?
CF10A and 23. 10643.
Bird box. Oh, guys. FTP, you know what FTP stands for? Fuck person. God damn. Fuck this person. This nigga, he can't wait to get home. He like, nigga, Houston, no 30 minutes. He was roasting my stupid ass. He fucked it up. Nigga can't wait to go tell somebody. See, I'm mad. I was gonna go to the shit, but he keeps saying it. I ain't gonna go. Shit went promotion like, all right, bro, goddamn, fuck. Fuck your news, bro. No news is good news. I'm blowed that he actually did. I'm surprised he actually did. Okay, see, I knew you were done when I told you you were done. Stop talking to me. I got a boy voice too. That's what I'm going to do. Close your eyes. I'm going to let the shit sink. No, I'm stupid, mate. I'm stupider than him. I'm ignorant. So you don't get your stupid ass. You don't get your stupid ass. Stop. Big t-shirt, part out. He got his shirt tucked in his pants. She celebrating your birthday with the $85. No. Nigga, that's my weed. What's wrong with you, bro? It's her birthday. I don't give a damn, man. What's wrong with you? God damn, Fly. Happy birthday. Shit. Fly. Don't do it like that, man.
So I had said this afternoon, deadline is whether or not you want to do it.
You know what? I got to talk like this. Hey, man, you can't hear it now.
Selection tomorrow morning. So Mr. Haddad or Mr. Nascimento, we're going forward to change of plea this afternoon. And state, is it the same term we discussed previously?
She's trying to get that hands hit, yeah.
23 case.
Oh, some black people shit. That's how she was gonna text that bitch.
That's a 6 year.
Gotta hit that bitch.
6 years program.
This is what Ivy League universities you can get into with a 3.6 GPA. 90.
All counts are run concurrently. All sentences run concurrently with one another. It looks like There's no
Mississippi,
restitution in the 23 case, the 19 case. I'm reserving restitution.
Birthday blunt, hit it. Hit it. There you go. One more time. There you go. There you go. One more time. Stupid ass. Happy birthday, baby. From the 85.
6 years probation.
You're too stupid ass. What did you get?
All counts
Hey, Akila, can we see you in the office, please? Hey, Akila. What's this? What's this? What's this empty paper?
6 years probation. All counts are run concurrently, all sentences run concurrently with one another. It looks like there's no restitution in the 23 case. In the 19 case, I'm reserving restitution and ordering it payable. That's going to be to Terry Bagley as well as Ashley Phillips.
Yes, sir.
So you now have to
We've spoken to them and they don't anticipate there being any restitution.
Okay, snap it. Okay, well, I'll give you 120 days to tell me an amount.
Yes, sure. They are present as well too, so our has informed them of that.
Okay.
Let us know.
Okay.
As of today, they said there is none.
All right, and state, is that the complete term? That's it?
He's also going to be giving it to Crawford, Your Honor, at a later time.
Is that part of the negotiated resolution?
It is.
So tell me how that works. Sure. Sure, come on up. Madam Clerk, this is not up.
So he only gonna do like FOMO. So we got some time served. And I'm putting up a So we really only got like being out here accepting the plea. We only got like 2.5 years.
Please let me know. I'll try to ask you. Mr. Henry, I'm going to put you under oath, and I'm going to ask you some questions. If I ask you something you don't understand, please let me know. I'll try to ask you better questions. Okay? As loud as you can so the court reporter can get down all the answers. Okay, raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. You can put your hand down. Please state your full name. How old are you? How far did you go in school? Do you read and understand the English language? Are you presently under the influence of any drugs, medication, or alcohol? Have you ever been treated for a mental illness? Are they giving you any medication in the jail right now? How are you feeling this afternoon? Your head is clear? You understand what's going on this afternoon? You understand you're resolving 2 pending felony cases this afternoon? Mr. Haddad or Mr. Nascimento, have you seen or heard Mr. Henry say or do anything which would call into question in your mind whether you understand what's going on? All right, so Mr. Henry's 2 cases, sir. I'm going to go one at a time. In case number 19, 1871 CF10A. This is before the agreement you made with the state. Before the deal you made with the state. You were charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is murder in the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital offenses. The maximum and mandatory penalty is life in Florida State prison. Counts 3 and 4 are accessory after the fact of murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies. The maximum penalty is 30 years in Florida State prison. In case number 23-10643 CF10A, you're charged in count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State prison. Count 2, directing the activities of criminal gang. That's a first degree felony. Again, punishable up to life in Florida State prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. Again, as it relates to a first degree murder charge, that is punishable by a maximum penalty of life in Florida State prison. And count 7, unlawful use of a two-way communication device as charged. That's a second degree felony. The maximum penalty is 15 years in Florida State prison. So, sir, again, before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state, your maximum exposure here was life in Florida State prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State prison. Sir, do you understand all the pending charges and the maximum possible penalties involved? And it's my understanding that you want to resolve both cases today. Is that correct? Yes. And that resolution is an agreement you've reached with the state, the terms of which are as follows. Number 1, in the 19 case, you're going to plead no contest to both counts of accessory after the fact.
Man, no, bro. Nigga plead no contest. Man, hell no. You supposed to play. You supposed to. That's a no one, boy. That's not a charge. You want to plead no contest to.
19 case, you're going to
Especially
plead no
if you do
contest to both counts of accessory after the fact. In the 23 case,
Especially if
you're
you
going
do
to
it.
plead
You
no
don't want to
contest
plead
charge.
no
Is that
contest.
correct? And it's my understanding that you want to resolve both cases today. Is that correct? And that resolution is an agreement you've reached with the state, the terms of which are as follows. Number one, in the 19 case, you're going to plead no contest to both counts of accessory after the fact. In the 23 case, you're going to plead no contest to all 4 counts as charged. In exchange for that, the state is going to null process, that is, drop the 2 first-degree murder cases. All right, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. Yes, sir. What's happening with that?
That would be no problem.
So he's only going to plead to the tampering with a witness in a capital felony, conspiracy to commit tampering and unlawful use of a two-way communication device.
Just the tampering and unlawful use.
Just count 1 and count 7. State, you're going to null process count 2 and count 5,
Correct.
as it relates only to Mr. Henry.
Correct.
Okay. So Mr. Henry, what it's going to be is 2 counts.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get.
Well, wait till this motherfucking shit come out on this page. But I guarantee you some shit gonna get beat by this page. No question about that shit, boy. What all that talking about?
Tampering with a witness in a capital felony and unlawful use
You want to see what's gonna
of a
happen.
two-way communication device. In exchange for that, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count. I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. In the unlawful use of a two-way communication device, that's a second-degree felony. The maximum exposure, it's a second as charged, I believe. It's a third, except as it relates to a capital case. But I'm happy to look it up. Well, what did you want the negotiated sentence to be for that?
That was just going to be the maximum time, sir.
5 years? Is that what you're going to do?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so sir, as to that count, it's going to be adjudication of 5 years in Florida State Prison. So the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count, those come with 6 years of reporting probation after the Department of Corrections sentence. I'll give you credit for all the time that you served in both cases. All of those counts will run concurrently. All those sentences will run concurrently. All counts in all cases, that is at the same time with each other. I'm going to have to impose mandatory court costs. I'm going to order restitution payable to Terry Bagley and payable to Ashley Phillips and reservists the amount. I'm going to give the state 120 days to tell me the amount of that restitution. If they fail to do so within 120 days, there will be no restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys agree on the amount, I will impose that as another condition of your sentence to pay back that restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys do not agree on the amount, I will conduct a restitution hearing. Sir, lastly, and I want to make it very clear on the record, and it's unrelated to this negotiated change of plea, I guess at some point after the fact, the state wants to take a proffer from you or have a discussion with you, ask you some questions about whatever that may be. What I want you to understand, sir, is I guess that's part of this negotiated resolution, but your answers to any of those questions, whatever they might be, have no bearing on me and have no bearing on this negotiated resolution. In other words, the deal you negotiated is the deal you negotiated.
Right.
Do you understand all that, sir? Have you had enough time to talk to your lawyers
You
about all
don't
that?
get what you're supposed to get, bro. You get what you negotiate. And that's all. For it.
They've answered all your questions? You're sure that that's what you want to do? Because I want to emphasize, Mr. Henry, and I'm going to do this again at the end of my plea colloquy. Whether you resolve the case by way of a negotiated plea or an open plea to me, or you resolve the case by way of a trial, it doesn't matter to me at all. But due to the resources that have been devoted to this case, I have 250 jurors summoned for jury duty starting tomorrow. So I want to be very thorough with you here this afternoon, because if you wake up tomorrow or the next day and you decide you changed your mind and you want to resolve this case, both cases, by way of a jury trial, that's not going to happen. All right? If you want to have a trial, the trial starts tomorrow. If you want to accept the deal, you can accept the deal today. But there's not going to be any buyer's remorse, in other words, because I've given you plenty of time to think about this, talk to your lawyers about it, talk to your family about it. I talked to you about it last week. Kind of looks like your lawyers probably did something or other to get a better disposition for you as of this afternoon. But this is it today. So understanding all that, you've had enough time to talk to your lawyers about all that. That's what you want.
Nah, bro.
So
they gave him the deal. His lawyer went and negotiated a little better deal than originally before the trial. My thing is, first trial with people. Why not run that bitch again? You know they gotta let you go. But now, I'm giving no contest to shit. That shit. We don't know what statements, if he got any statements. I don't know if he got any statements, made any statements, until Melly. I don't know if that boy did anything. Let's see why the hell that is. That's in the beginning, bro. That shit sound like hold up. Time for a giant move. Let me hold something, boy. What the fuck just happened? My fault. I'm getting my audio. Somebody said my audio went right. Appreciate that. What it sound like now, though? I can't see. I can't see my camera.
Has anyone forced you, threatened you, or coerced you to enter in these pleas? If I accept your pleas, there will not be a trial in either one of these cases. Do you understand that? If I accept these pleas, there's a whole bunch of constitutional rights you are giving up. I want to make sure you understand all of those rights. You have the right to maintain your plea and not be able to have a trial in each case. You have the right to present defenses, to file motions and other pleadings in support of your defense. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have the state prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to confront and cross-examine the witnesses against you. You have the right to appeal any decisions that I may have made up to this point or any rulings I might make in a future trial. But understanding by entering this negotiated resolution today, you are giving up all of those rights. The matter is going to be resolved today, right now, this afternoon. Is that what you want to do? Are you satisfied with your lawyers? Have you had enough time to speak with them? Have they answered all your questions? Are you satisfied with all the work that they have done for you? Sir, I've got two identical plea forms here entitled plea of guilty or no contest to criminal charges in circuit court.
This is COVID. Nigga probably like all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? You can really nigga can actually get some. Let's see what I'm doing, right? I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna fight really dirty and sharp. Hell no, like 7, 8 years. Damn, bro, I did 10 years. I ain't even did this shit, bro. Nigga, fuck that. Fuck me. You can't tell like it's hard to take shit, but you know, I know that shit fucked up. You know what I'm saying? As long as it didn't have to say nothing against Buddy, and then but that shit don't hurt the bro case. You feel me? At the same time, y'all was taking that shit to the dope, man. Them bitches ain't good. What kind of deal did they give them for the dope? You gotta think about it. The time that they change up and deals for holding deals. Man, they probably do that shit out in the truck. You feel me? You don't even know. They probably had a weak ass case where they like, man, fuck, you know, open me. And they got what? They're gonna come with another offer. All the time. You was like, no, I ain't saying that deal. Stupid ass deal. Shit. You already been through. The trial was starting tomorrow, but they still continue to deal with actual trial. And it would have been better than that last week.
Each one has your name on the top. Your initials on the left-hand side, front and back, and your signature on the back. Did you go over both of these forms? Any questions about what's on either of these forms? And is that your signature on the back of each form? Sir, there's a few things that I need to tell everyone that I take a plea from. They may or may not apply to you. If you are not a citizen of the United States, these pleas will result in your deportation. Do you understand that? under the provisions of the Jimmy Rice Act, if the offenses to which you are pleading are sexually violent or sexually motivated offenses, or if you've been previously convicted of such offenses, then these pleas will subject you to an involuntary civil commitment as a sexually violent predator upon completion of your sentences. Do you understand that?
I want to show you the difference between a 401k and an index uniform.
My thing is, why you gotta say shit like that if that's not any fucking case? You know, this ain't even that type of fucking case. So why the
For life policy. So 401k does build cash value. Now it's usually through your employer.
Like y'all just be wasting time.
There's drug offenses, but
talk about what the fuck my
revoke your driver's license for a period of 1 year. Do you understand that? Sir, paragraph 11 of each form that you sign reads as follows. I acknowledge that my attorney and I have reviewed any discovery disclosed by the state. My attorney and I are unaware of any physical evidence for which DNA may exonerate me. In other words, sir, if there's any physical evidence in the case that we could test for DNA, that DNA evidence would not tell me that you were not one of the people in that vehicle when these crimes occurred. But actually, the opposite would be true. If there was any such physical evidence that could be tested for DNA, that DNA evidence would tell me that you were one of the two people that was inside this vehicle when these crimes occurred. Sir, do you agree with that statement? State, do you agree with that statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, do you agree with that statement? Mr. Henry, understanding everything that I have talked to you about up to this point, do you still want to go ahead and resolve both cases today, right now? Defense, is he stipulating to a factual basis for the purpose of each plea in both cases? Yes. And if he's entitled to a PSI, defense, are you going to waive that as to each case?
Absolutely.
State, is there anything else that you need me to do before I take his plea?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Henry, again, two cases. We're going to do one at a time. In case number 19, 1871 CF10A, as to count 3, accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree, and as to count 4, accessory after the fact as to murder in the first degree. How are you going to plead, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? In case number 23, 106.
Damn.
43 CF10A. As to count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and count 7, unlawful use of a two-way communication device. How are you going to plead, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? I will accept your no contest pleas as to each. I'm going to find a factual basis to support each based upon my review of each electronic probable cause affidavit as well as your stipulation in court here today. I'm going to further find that you have freely, voluntarily, and intelligently waived your rights, that you have knowingly entered each plea with the advice of competent counsel who you've told me that you are satisfied with, that you understand the nature of the charges and the consequences of the plea. Accordingly, and pursuant to the negotiated agreement, I will send it to you as follows. In case number 19, 1871 CF10A, as to count 3 and count 4, I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. I will impose mandatory court costs. Pursuant to 943.325, I will need a set of your prints and DNA. Pursuant to 938.27, I will impose a cost of prosecution of $100. Sir, I'm also ordering.
So he only got 10 years. He only been about 85%.
In that case, payable to Terry, Terri Bagley, Bagley, Ashley, Ashley Phillips, Phillips, reserving as to the amount. I'm going to give the state 120 days to tell me the amount of the restitution. If they fail to do so within 120 days, there will be no restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys agree on the amount, I will impose that as another condition of your sentence to pay back. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys do not agree on the amount, I will conduct a restitution hearing. That will conclude that. In case number 23, 10643 CF10A, as to count 1 and count 7, I will adjudicate you guilty. Count 7 is a sentence of 5 years in Florida State Prison. Count 1 is a sentence of 10 years in Florida State Prison, followed by 6 years of reporting probation. I will impose mandatory court costs in that case as well. I will not impose the cost of prosecution in that case as I just did so in the previous case. Pursuant to 943.325, I will need another set of your prints and DNA. All of these, there is no restitution in that case. All of these sentences, all counts, both cases, will run concurrently. That is at the same time with each other. I will give you credit for all the time that you have served. State, in 1871 CF10A, the announcement as to counts 1 and 2. And in case number 23, 10643 CF10A, state your announcement as to count 2 and count 5. I think that concludes all the matters. State, is there anything else that you need me to do regarding Mr. Henry in either case? I'm looking at the plea forms. The 23 case, they have 707 days credit for time served. In the 19 case, 1,048 credit for time served.
Yeah, man, this shit's still going on.
Nothing else I can
12 years, 8 years.
So listen, my
8 years.
hearing doctor is at 3:30 p.m.
You gotta remember, the trial was a mistrial. You know what I'm saying? The first trial
I mean, I was gonna make it
mistrial.
available if you wanted to do it now.
That's why he been trying to
Okay.
trial date.
Anything else?
I don't know why they weren't releasing it.
All right, Mr. Henry, I'm not quite sure how your lawyers managed to do this, but I wish you good luck, sir.
That's not Melly Bortlen.
Yeah, he'll be on Mr. Smith, Mr. Haddad.
October.
We'll have a probation officer here tomorrow. He'll be on my doctor's tomorrow morning for the instructions on probation. So I will sign all the paperwork if you want to stick around for that. We're otherwise
That's
going
why
to
they
be
trying to get
recessed
him
till
up
3:30 p.m. The
So
hearing
they
doctor
get
said
him
3:30 p.m. So I'll be in recess until
certain saying
Build a website you love with Wix.
they can make their case stronger against Melly.
For your words,
And that's ultimately the overall, you know what I'm saying? What they're trying to do, trying to get up and you see, 20 years. I like century gone. They'll take you 10 years, 6 years probation. You're gonna get out next year. 85%. Before I got 85%. You got 85% of your time. So
In defense, there is no additional evidence, witnesses, or testimony you would. Okay, no problem. You would like Henry state, am I still correct? There's no other additional evidence, witnesses, or testimony you would like to present as to that motion?
Correct.
In defense, there is no additional evidence, witnesses, or testimony you would like to present as to that motion?
We would like to present the testimony of the defendants today
Oh.
for limited purpose of what happened.
Okay, no problem. Mike, can you hear him over there? Yeah, Mr. Henry, just, you can stay right there with your lawyers, just speak loudly, okay, so we don't forget you. Raise your right hand, please. You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, put your hand down. Please state your full name and spell your full name.
My name is Bortlen, C-O-R-T-N-E-N,
So you may part.
and just, Mr. Kennedy, we just want to talk about what happened in the hospital on October 26, 2018. Do you recall driving to the hospital? Have you guys seen that? Answer yes or no, please. Yes. Okay, and then at some point.
hold on, let me slow it down. My bad. But just
Do you recall driving to the hospital? Have you guys seen that? Answer yes or no, please. Yes. Okay, and then at some point, when you arrived at the hospital, were you placed into a room? Driving to the hospital. What happened in the hospital on October?
So you may part.
Mr. Kennedy, we just want to talk about what happened in the hospital on October 26, 2018. Do you recall driving to the hospital? If you guys speak up, answer yes or no, please. Yes. Okay, and then at some point, when you were brought to the hospital, were you placed into a room? When you were placed in that room, approximately how many officers were present? 5 or 6. And approximately, if you remember, how long were you in the hospital prior to the 2 detectives arriving? You were there for a little bit before they got there. Oh, wait, you said detectives. And describe to me the room that you were in. You were either by yourself.
Oh, that shit low. About that. Yeah, man, you have a good rest of your night. Rest of your week. Create a positive impact.
While you were in that hospital room, at any time were you placed in handcuffs? Yes. Do you recall who placed you in handcuffs? Officers. You're saying one of the officers. You're differentiating officer versus detective? Yes. The officer that were standing in the room. Okay. And while you were in that room prior to giving your statement, was there always an officer in the room? Yes. And at any time, were there any officers in the doorway? Yes. What were they doing? They were just standing there. At any time prior to giving your statement, did you feel as though you had the ability to get up and leave? What do you think, in your mind, what was your impression that would happen to you had you tried to leave? Prior to you giving your statements to the officer, the detectives, at some point, were the handcuffs taken off? Yes. Why? They want me to go the urine set. Okay. Was there a bathroom inside the hospital room? No, they want me. You said they walked out on the office.
Some officers, when they're deputies, they stand guard, when they leave, they walk me out, they walk me into a separate, bathroom, freshman.
Okay. And that entire time while you're providing a urine sample, was there always an officer with you?
Yeah.
And after you gave the urine
Yeah,
sample?
yeah, man. No bitch is gonna be right behind you while you taking that
At some point,
piss, bro.
there are 2 detectives that come.
That type of shit. It don't matter. Yeah.
Anytime during your interaction with other detectives, did they tell you a briefly?
You ain't been on probation. You don't know.
Did you know you could be entitled to?
You ain't never been on probation. Hold on, ass out. Stay out of probation. Speed. Use your tricks.
Okay, probably.
Them bitches looking for any reason to got you and get a bit bad. I'm ready to plant some shit on your ass.
Mr. Henry, you were taken into the hospital room for medical treatment, correct?
Yes.
These bitches will charge you for murder and make you prove that you did it. Look at this shit. These bitches will charge you and lock you away for 10 years for murder. Make you prove that you didn't get that shit. But you go be innocent for proving guilty. Why the fuck these niggas don't get no bond after the first trial? Innocent of proving
You're aware
guilty.
that there is
Land of the free. It's a
urine
bullshit.
or collected evidence.
Not as you can. No.
You stated you were handcuffed. How long were you handcuffed for?
Most of the time I'm dead.
So you were handcuffed for over 2 hours in that room, which you're testifying to.
Yes, until
Just say twice again.
they
Did you ever try to leave? Did you ever ask to leave? Did you ever discuss with the nurses that you wanted to leave? I'm going to show you what they marked the states for evidence. You recognize this picture? Who's that a picture of? Or where are you?
My bad for that little episode. We ain't the only nigga that take this. What did I miss,
Did
man?
you ever ask to leave?
You ain't the only nigga.
Just say twice again. Did you ever try to leave? Did you ever ask to leave? Did you ever discuss with the nurses that you wanted to leave?
That is right now.
I'm going to show you what they marked the states for evidence. You recognize this
They're all
picture?
from Florida, you know what I'm saying? Trigger City, Florida, you feel me?
Who's that a picture of? Or where are you? Are you wearing handcuffs in this picture?
You know what I'm saying? I'm from Trigger City, Florida. That was all.
Any objection? Without objection, states B for identification is now going to be an evidence that states Exhibit 2 only for the purposes of this.
Yeah, likes, shares.
Mr. Henry, you agreed
subscribe,
to ride with Detective Toyota after the crime scene? Where you said the crime occurred?
Trigger City, Florida. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do no Florida shit. You call me DJ Dick Games. I'm going to get on my. This will be some DJ Dick Games shit.
Did you ride with Detective Toyota? You testified yesterday. How were you inside the crime scene?
Yes.
You were seated in the front seat with him.
Which I'm gonna check, it's outside the scope.
Well, it is outside the scope, but over the defense's objection. Go ahead, sir. You can answer the question.
You did not ride with Detective Toyota. You were in the back seat. And at the end of your interviews with the detectives, they offered you a ride home, correct? They did not offer you a ride home? And they did not give you, law enforcement did not give you a ride home?
No further questions.
All right, based on that, any redirect?
So just briefly on the photo.
Yeah, you spoke that.
Mr. Henry,
Offer
this
you
photo
a
that
ride
showed
home, that would be a
you recall
no.
pictures being taken of you? Do you recall the officer taking photos of you? Was this taken before or after the handcuffs were taken?
Objection.
Yeah, Florida, yeah.
Hold on, over the state's objection.
Trigger City, Florida. You know? So,
Go ahead, sir. What's your answer to that question?
You said you recall some photos being taken. Those photos that you recall being taken, were they taken before or after the handcuffs were taken? After. No further questions.
Based on that, any recross? Mr. Henry, I got a couple questions for you. You didn't get arrested that day, correct? How'd you get home? Someone came and picked you up at the hospital? And do you know what the time period was between that day and when you actually did get arrested?
That was October 26th. I was arrested February 28th.
All right, State, based on my questions, do you have any additional questions? Defense, based on my questions, do you have any additional questions? Okay. Defense, any additional evidence, witnesses, or testimony regarding the motion to suppress? No, sir. Okay. So it's just argument. So,
My bad. I am.
defense, it's your motion. So when you're ready, take your time. Your argument is in support of your motion to suppress, and I assume you want to suppress. Well, I heard, which I think is contained on State's Exhibit 1. For this hearing, there's two statements. There's a longer statement that's about 40-something minutes, and then there's a very short one, which is like 2.5 minutes. You want to suppress everything? Okay, go ahead.
He was not Mirandized, as we know. I think the state stipulates for that. But what the issue is obviously, he was not at the police station. The issue of whether he was in a situation where he should have been Mirandized. Whether the interrogation had.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If that's his lawyer, I can understand why he took it. You know, you want this. That's not the type of lawyer. You want like a Brian Steele, like something. You ain't got that Brian Steele money. Look at the money you got. You feel me? Like, that lawyer probably doing that. Fuck some shit up, but it did good.
Constitutional interrogation, whether or not it's
Your workflow is
You know what I'm saying? We should really got a weak case, and we should really conclude that shit. You good and you go to bed.
police
It's starting to.
had a shooting. We heard the
That's
testimony
starting to
that
get serious. Like this shit.
the car arrived at the hospital with two bodies in it. Mr. Henry was driving the car. Two bodies were taken into the hospital. Mr. Henry was taken to the hospital. And he told the nurse or somebody that were there that there was a drive-by shooting. He explained to them where it happened. We know from what the inspector testified, other police people, personnel, they were present. And talking to him, and then went out and walked the scene, canvassed the scene, looking for evidence of a drive-by shooting. They were unable to find evidence of the drive-by shooting, and the detectives came and talked to Mr. Henry. You've heard the tape, and I just want to quote from the transcript of it. The defendant is confronted with, as he said, the police corroborated there were at least 5 or 6 cops in the room, everybody around him. He was in a situation where he's, I'm going to call it a custodial situation when we get to that point. But anyway, the statement was, the defendant is confronted with Bortlen and Melly. Hey, Henry. Hey, man, how you doing? What's up, man? How you guys doing? Hey, my name's Detective Bortlen, and this is Detective Mark Melly. We're here to talk to you about what happened, okay? Listen, you need to be straight up with us and tell us what happened here. My understanding, you told these officers something, but the evidence doesn't show that happened right here. That's confronting the defendant with something that's implying, I'm already saying he committed a crime there, he was lying to the police. So we know that they're confronting him with evidence of falsehood. Should he have been Mirandized to the rest of the statement, what they're using to formulate the rest of the statement. And I would submit to the court that the police had a duty to Mirandized under that situation. They formulated, they have a crime, there's no question crime committed, occurred. They called it a crime scene. The scene at the hospital was taped off, it was a active crime scene. Half the Miramar Police Department were there, 5 or 6 people were guarding him, each in a situation where any person would feel they were not free to leave.
It sounds good, man. I just don't like the presentation. I don't like how you present yourself. You present that goddamn pretty good.
He's in a hospital.
Niggas just tired of being in that jail, though. I
Said
know.
it was 200 millimeters.
They get tired of going through that shit. CO.
Was just to be Mirandized. I submit to the court that in the situation, the defense was, well, according from the Hunter, Miranda warnings are required when an individual is undergoing.
I think it hurt that place. I think it's gonna hurt Melly case.
That's this court, that's the Supreme Court, this court has explained.
I don't know if that's gonna hurt Melly case, but take it 10 years.
It is for her freedom of action was curtailed to a degree associated with the actual arrest. The proper inquiry is not the unarticulated plan of the police, but how a reasonable person in the suspect's position would have perceived the situation. Would a reasonable person in the situation of Mr. Henry have felt like he was not free to leave? Would he have felt like he was under arrest? The answer is obviously yes. He's there, some private person is in a situation where the police are telling him they don't believe what he said happened. They made it clear that they think he's lying to the police. How would a reasonable person behave in a situation? You're in a hospital bed, you've got policemen all around you, you're being accused of lying to the police. Would a person perceive the situation as one where they're accused? I submit to the court of totality, sir.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, bro. When that boy get out there on the street, that boy got at least $250,000 interviews with him. I guarantee this boy got at least $400,000 interviews with him. No question about it. Everybody know you gonna see an interview with Glad. Who else gonna do it? He probably gonna do it. With that shit, no jumping.
They would not. I can see the cases state that a hospital is not necessarily the equivalent of a police station, but it's not the place where the inquiry occurred.
I'd be surprised if he get out and don't do one interview. He gonna have to do that shit, though.
It's a reasonable man.
And nigga ain't gonna turn around on 10, 20 bands for no interview.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Just pause 1 second.
I done been in this bitch for 10 years, man. I gotta pay 6 years probation. Who you gonna get out? Here? That's all they do. It's so bad, they probably gonna try to lowball that. They paid $2,500. That's not my bad. I'm not big bank. Big cop. Damn, dog. Oh boy, got his mouth for a little happy in that film, but like, yeah, this shit almost over. That little bit of relief, though, you can see the little bit of relief he got. Do that last little bit behind you. Nah, that's it, bro. That might be the prosecutor. They talking to people.
Jellyfish lighting is an all
Hey, any engineers out there that want to help me create? Any engineers out there want to help me create a roll-up robot? If I want to be a robot, roll up for me, I know it's at least 10 million people at the same time. It's hard.
Regarding a medical issue, I'm going to take the call.
That's a true problem.
I go to Russ versus State, which is court case they relied on it so heavily in its motion because it wasn't.
Lil Jeff did what?
The court stated, quite correctly, police are not required to give Miranda every potential suspect. Miranda warnings only apply in custody investigations.
Yeah, the Lil Jeff.
Then it goes on to say the reasons for Miranda warnings at this stage because interrogating certain custodial circumstances inherently coercion. Statement made under these circumstances are inadmissible unless the suspect is specifically wanted Miranda rights until he decides to waive those rights. And then it says for Miranda purposes, custodial questioning interrogation means question initiated by law enforcement officer after a person has been taken into custody or the court leader, otherwise deprived of freedom of action anyway. The determination of whether the person is investigated for purposes of Miranda is how a reasonable person in the suspect situation would perceive the circumstances, relying on Yarborough in those cases. The person is in custody, quoting from Hunter, a person in custody is reasonable, if a reasonable person in the same position would believe that his or her action, freedom of action was curtailed to a degree associated with actual arrest. And I quoted that before. And that's the situation we have here. The defendant is in a room. He is confronted by the police that they don't believe what he's telling them. So he's lying to them, and they have to come clean. And then he's not Mirandized. He's surrounded by a bunch of police. He goes to the bathroom, take him to the bathroom. He's in a room where the police agree.
Who is Little Jeff?
They said there's a bunch of police. 4 or 5 sound reasonable from what the defendant is saying. They're consistent with what already testified. How many police are here? He's in a room. It's a confined place. He's got policemen around him, and he's confronted with evidence that he lied to the police. Should he have been Mirandized? Absolutely. It's a statement that is going to be used against him in the obstruction case. He should have been Mirandized. I think under the circumstances testified to as to how this occurred, the defendant had a Miranda warning under all the cases given. Thank you.
Yeah, Judge. Starting with the very testimony, he's clearly not being forthright with the court. As Detective Fox, or Officer Fox testified to, when he first got to the scene, Mr. Henry was sitting outside on a stone bench when he went over and asked him what was going on. When he is questioned in the room by the detectives, they testified he was not handcuffed. In the photograph, he was not handcuffed. Detective Toyota takes him on a ride. If he was really a security risk, if he was really somebody they thought was a suspect, Detective Toyota never would have taken him on that ride, and they never would have offered him a ride home. That offer for the ride home is at the end of that recording, where they say, like, we're going to make arrangements to take him home. He was not a suspect. As the officers all, excuse me, the officers all testified, they thought he was a victim. He was receiving medical treatment because, as the defendant stated, he was one of the people being shot at. So when we look at whether something is custodial or not, it's the Ramirez test. It's outlined in Ross, which is the man was police summoned him for questioning. He was not summoned. He brought himself to the hospital. The hospital was a crime scene. There were officers there. A crime scene was there. They were processing the vehicle. They were processing the deceased. They were processing for evidence, potentially evidence physically located on Mr. Henry as a victim. The fact that the court heard the purpose, place, and manner of the questioning. This questioning was non-confrontational. He's not confronted with any evidence. They're not saying, you know, we found bullet casings. They're not saying we found GSR. The confrontation is, we don't think this happened where you said it happened. And if you look at the transcript, you read the transcript, you can see that. Because on page 9 of the transcript, they're like, look, here's a crude fraud.
See, the other lawyer, I would have ran the other lawyer. Older man, yeah, I took the so he still no trial. That is a big difference. That's a versus your last time next year. And then your trial start. The day before you this last day before you get sent this shit.
You guys get off the ramp here. Did you drive past the Chick-fil-A? They're trying to figure out where this happened. Is I think 2 of the officers, we're trying to figure out if we even had jurisdiction over the case, depending upon where it actually occurred. There were not 5 or 6 officers in the room. That never happened. What the officers said, testified to, is that there were officers around, you know, nearby, and there were, because it was a crime scene. There was an active shooter loose, based on what Mr. Henry told police, because he was a victim of a drive-by, which means somebody is driving around shooting up vehicles. So of course police are going to respond to that. But he's not confronted with any evidence of guilt, and even if he is, before considering that, as I cite to in, Pitts, which is very parallel to this case at the end of my first section for issue 1, is even if they are confronted with some evidence of criminal activity, that does not necessarily transform it into a custodial interrogation. He's not confronted with any evidence of him committing a crime. It's just, it just happened where you say it is. And when we look at the entire context of the conversation, the tone, the manner, this is not an aggressive confrontation of him being a suspect. This is, tell us what happened. Where's the location? Who were the victims? What, did anybody have a beef with you? Are you posting on social media? They're trying to figure out what happened, what is going on, the basics of the investigation. And I believe all 3 witnesses testified, we believe he was a victim at the time of that. Is a reasonable person standard. The fact that he is having, documenting his injuries, that's normal in nearly any crime. A victim of domestic violence is going to have their injuries photographed. A victim of domestic sexual battery is going to be sent to a treatment center for potential examination. And they have the right to refuse, which is what the officer testified to. Had he wanted to refuse, we would have abided by that. There's no evidence, there's no evidence supporting that this was a custodial interrogation or ever transformed into a custodial interrogation. Miranda warnings were never required for this because, as the officers testified to, at the time they were questioning him, they believed Mr. Henry to be a victim of this.
Next, I'll give you the last word. You guys want? If I may, I have to disagree with the states. I do think that the any portions of the transcript were replete with instances of the detectives confronting Mr. Henry with what they believe evidence of him lying and not telling the true story of what happened. We see it in the second question. First question is this Henry. The second question is the evidence shows that it happened there. You lied to us. You're not telling us the truth. If you want to page 3, you see them confronting on the bottom.
If you want to build an app and have no idea how to code or where to start,
ask Google, bitch. Don't be giving a fuck about these motherfucking websites. 30 other websites like these people about to tell you. They can text you up.
Here's the hard part. We're having a real hard time trying to understand is that we shut down the entire area. We had officers on the shoulder walking out. They just find as much as one shell casing. They won, but they end with nothing to what you said adds up. You're lying. You're not telling us the truth. We think there's more to this. Later on, they won. We should expect to find evidence here. If finding that right now, there's nothing. Okay. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information that something else happened on the east side of the city. But you know, it sounds similar to your thing, but you need to tell us. You need to be straight up with us. Okay. Next question. You're doing your friends a disservice. So repeated examples of them telling you at the beginning of the statement, what you said to us is untrue. You are lying to us. We've done an investigation. The evidence that we have doesn't match what you're saying. We're confronting you now with the lack of evidence to support your story. So clearly, they're confronting you with evidence of skillful involvement in some way, in either the accessory after or the murder itself. And as far as arranging for a ride to go home and being in a ride along with the officers, that matters not as to what the environment was when Mr. Henry gave his statement in that hospital. He was testified to this court not able to believe. This court can evaluate that based on a reasonable person standard of disposition. Whether or not he's in handcuffs when the statement occurs, again, matters not. There are officers. He was not free to leave the hospital room. He go to the bed rest room. I think it's easy to understand that had he stood up and walked out of the hospital, he would have stopped him. He had been there for some time before the statement occurred. They were collecting evidence. There was a crime scene, putting evidence, GSR, in his hands, taking his clothes, things of that nature. Things that a reasonable person would not understand to be happening to a victim of a crime, as someone who may be a suspect of a crime. And at the very end, Judge, whether the officers testified they believed him to be a suspect or not matters not, as the case law tells us. In Stanford versus California, 511 U.S. 318, that these officers' subjective view of the individual is not bearing on whether or not the person believed they were in custody, whether they express it or not to you. It's what happened to Mr. Henry that day, and was he reasonable believing he was not free to leave? Was his physical emotion or was his right to decide what to do next curtailed by the action of the officers? And we would submit that it is clearly if you evaluate just in the vacuum of that room prior to the statement. Thank you.
Okay, listen, although normally the best practice would be for me to give you all a written order on there, I'm just going to go to the bench because of the time constraints that run here. Henry, and that's the jury selection next Wednesday. So, regarding the defendant's motion to suppress statements of Bortlen Henry, number one, I find witness Jordan Cox to be credible. I find witness Stephen Toyota to be credible. I find witness Mark Moretti to be credible. For the most part, I find witness Bortlen Henry to be credible, except maybe he has this handcuff issue. I just don't know. There's no evidence for it. To the contrary. So let me put a couple things on the record right up front. Number one, it's clearly interrogation. Okay, there's no issue about that. They're asking him questions like, did you fire a gun that day? Did you have a gun that day? All right, those are questions that are meant to elicit or could elicit incriminating responses. It's clearly interrogation. That's not an issue.
Yes.
Number two,
really
certainly the best practice would be for homicide detectives to just advise the person of his rights. Were they to advise him of his rights, then we don't have to go through this 2-day procedure. I'm not called upon to make this determination, but for whatever reason, law enforcement doesn't really seem interested in doing that on a lot of these cases, so I have to make this determination. So really, the whole ballgame here is whether he's in custody. And I'm familiar with the case law that the state cited. I reviewed it again. I'm familiar with the case law the defense cited. I reviewed it again. The bottom line is, I don't think he is in custody, and I'll put the reasons why on the record. Let me also make this clear. If I had a photo in front of me, and I don't care where it was taken, if it was taken outside in the bay of the emergency room entrance, if it was taken inside the hospital, I mean, there's video cameras all over these hospitals, maybe not the treatment rooms, but if I had any picture or any video, anything, anywhere, at any point in time Mr. Henry had handcuffs on, I'd probably feel differently about this, but I don't. I have nothing that supports that in front of me, number one. Number two, they did in fact let him go. Number three, I think this defense is trying to give law enforcement too much credit. This is just a few hours after a double homicide occurs, and they're trying to, I guess, infer some nefarious purpose on behalf of law enforcement that they knew Mr. Henry was a suspect, that they knew Mr. Henry was going to be charged. This is the perjury trap that the defense relies on or mentions in their motion.
Yeah, they were trying
I don't
to
think they
pin
had
it
any
on
idea what happened at this point. It was just a few hours after a double homicide. They're just trying to figure out what's going on to the point of putting Mr. Henry in a car and driving him.
And then they realized it's a family property involved in Florida. When it comes to the music industry, let me independent. I know the music industry trying to do independent artists dirty as fuck. you know, investigation because Ice Cube told me that same people in prisons, same people that own the label, the paper, the Universal, wherever the fuck on the label, the record label, same people that run the label, run the prison, same people. So I run some shit. You know, for the music business and I control some shit. Nigga want to sign a deal with me. Nigga want to try to take away money from my shit like Tory Lane. So the independent route deal right to the so I don't put their ass away for some years while we monopolize this shit, get all the money and they can't fuck this shit up later. That's what the fuck they gonna do, bitch.
To the scene that he says where this took place because they're trying to figure it out. So they had no idea what was going on. They certainly didn't have any idea that Mr. Henry was Melly.
Oh no, no. Melly independent.
That seems to be corroborated by the fact that he doesn't even get arrested until more than 3 months after the fact.
I don't know if Melly had no deal though.
If he had ever asked to leave, I would feel differently about this. If he had ever told any witness anywhere that he didn't want to talk to them anymore, I would feel differently about this. He did no such thing. Again, based on the totality of circumstances, I'm supposed to determine this. I listened to the questioning. I agree with the state in this part. It wasn't what I would call an intensive or aggressive questioning by the detectives based on their tone of voice and based on what they're trying to find out. They actually kind of go out of their way several times to say, listen, we don't care if you had drugs. We don't care if you were committing another crime. We don't care about anything else. We're homicide detectives. We're trying to find out what went on in the homicide. As to the defense's argument that there is a large police presence at the hospital, I would suspect that if any person in this room drove up to the hospital right now with 2 dead bodies in their car, there would be a very large police presence that would respond almost immediately to that location. So that in and of itself doesn't really sway anything in my mind. I think any reasonable person would have to expect that you drive up to the entrance of an emergency room with 2 dead people in your car who were shot, that you're going to be confronted with a rather large law enforcement presence almost immediately. So again, based on the totality of the circumstances, where I do find that the best practice would have been to advise them of Miranda rights, and where I do find that this was in fact interrogation, I do find, based on everything that I've put on the record, that Mr. Henry was not in custody. Therefore, respectfully, the defense motion to suppress both the statements is going to be denied. I'll enter a written order that reflects such. If and when we arrive at the part of trial where the state tries to introduce this, that would be over the defense objection, which I would consider to be preserved, renewed, and contemporaneously.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get paid a way bigger check without having to go to court or pay expensive upfront legal fees. Listen, if you've been in a...
So I'll enter a written order as to that. Next, state, you filed a state unopposed motion for relief from trial order dated July 8th, 2024, and that was for the purposes of filing a motion in limine to exclude the testimony of potential witnesses Michelle Boutros and Christine Bradley. I think you all told me yesterday the defense has no objection to your unopposed motion for relief from the trial order to file the motion, number 1, and number 2, the motion in limine is otherwise moot because they don't intend on calling Michelle Boutros or Christine Bradley as witnesses. State, is that correct?
I believe that's correct.
Is that correct?
That's the way it stands. I don't believe we would.
All right, so
Should that happen?
okay, well, as far as the motion for relief, just to file your motion, that's granted, and I'll enter a written order as to that. Regarding the state's motion in limine, I'll defer on that, and I'll enter a written order. And if no one calls them as witnesses, it's not an issue. And if someone's going to call them as a witness or wants to, I'll address it and give you a ruling on that. And if that requires me to send the jury out and even take a proffer from either one of these witnesses, it doesn't seem like it's going to be too long in time, but I'll take a proffer from them if I need to outside.
Damn, a nigga might want right
before I make a ruling. Although I can tell you, I have no policies, but as a general rule, credibility of witnesses is always at issue. So if we're talking about the credibility of a witness in the case, a witness that one side or the other side needs the jury to believe to have the jury believe their version of the facts of the case, then I would probably be hard pressed to say that I would prevent any witness testimony in front of the jury in that regard. And I'll enter all 3 of those orders today. Ms. Wilcox, this one on top is granted. The reasons stated on the record, and then the motion limited to be deferred. The reasons stated on the record.
The motion hasn't actually been filed yet. You just have to
Oh, you're going to file it. I'll consider it.
Today, but we won't
Do they have a
file
copy of it?
anything.
They already have a copy of it?
Yes, there you go.
All right, so I'll consider the state's motion in limine based on my ruling granting the relief from the trial order filed today.
whatever you do, create a positive impact today and later. You feel me? I don't know. Y'all think that shit gonna affect Buddy case? I'm taking that plea,
which is September the 5th, and I will defer ruling on it based on what I already put on the record. State, is there anything else that you need me to do for you regarding Mr. Henry today?
Not today, thank you.
Defense, is there anything else that you need me to do regarding Mr. Henry today?
Not today. Thank you.
So Mr. Henry's going to keep a couple dates. Number one, next Tuesday, September the 9th at 1:30 p.m. We'll call that a trial status. So the record is clear on this. If there's going to be some sort of resolution, it has to be Tuesday afternoon. I can't take it Wednesday morning because I'm going to have the jurors here. There's simply too much human resources involved with this. And if Mr. Henry's case does resolve, and again, to repeat what I said yesterday, it doesn't matter to me whether it does or it doesn't. I have a couple other murder trials that are in line with in-custody defendants. And I will use those jurors.
Not bring him here at 5 in the morning.
You just sign it. We'll give you a blank order. Just fill it out that says I need him here Tuesday, September the 9th at 1:30 p.m. 1:30 p.m. Mr. Henry, Tuesday will be the last day you're dressed like that. If we go forward with the trial on Wednesday, I need you in your trial clothes, okay? Rest for trial on Wednesday. We're going to have jurors here Wednesday. And then he has, besides the September 9th date at 1:30, he keeps his trial dates for September the 10th at 9 o'clock.
I don't need an order for 1:30. I want one for long time.
However you want to write it up.
Yeah, it's 1:30 they usually bring on the afternoon bus.
Yeah,
but
that's
they
right.
bring- yeah.
We'll walk over. Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, just, okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let me go back on the record. This is on the top of my page 5, State versus Portland Henry, 19-187.
All right, let's go over the plea again since my motherfucking audio weren't right. That was my fault. Like I said, man, I'm getting better with this shit. You feel me? I'm getting more consistent. I be switching shit up all the time. I got 3 computers.
Deadline as to whether or not Mr. Henry want to accept the state's offer or not. We're set to go to jury selection tomorrow morning. So Mr. Haddad or Mr.
So, to reiterate the shit that wasn't heard,
And state, is it the same terms that you discussed previously?
10 years jail time.
So the preforms to me look like on the 19th case as to the 2 counts of accessory after.
And he gonna get time served.
As to all 4 counts, the 23 case. These are going to be adjudications. 10 years Florida State prison followed by, let's say, 6 years probation. 6 years probation.
And 6 years probation.
One another. It looks like there's no restitution in the 23 case. In the 19 case, I'm reserving restitution and ordering it payable. That's going to be Terry Bagley as well as Ashley Phillips.
Yes, sir. We've spoken to them and they don't anticipate there being any restitution.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll give you 120 days to tell me the amount. There's
Yes,
no
sir.
amount.
They are present.
All right, my medicine kicking in.
Okay.
As of today, they said there is none.
All right, and state, is that the complete term? Okay.
He's also going to be giving it to Crawford, Your Honor, at a later time.
What, is that part of the negotiated resolution?
It is.
So tell me how that works. Sure. Sure, come on. Madam Clerk, this is not on.
All right. What that shit was about.
Some questions.
Fast forward that.
Please let me know. I'll try to ask you a better question, okay?
Homing TV, hustlers on a mission every day.
Raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? You can put your hand out. Please state your full name. How old are you? How far did you go in school? Do you read and understand the English language? Are you presently under the influence of any drugs, medication, or alcohol?
You bet not be, boy. Your ass in the court.
Are they giving you any medication in the jail right now? How are you feeling this afternoon? Your head is clear? You understand what's going on this afternoon? You understand you're resolving 2 pending felony cases this afternoon?
Yes, he does.
Mr. Haddad or Mr. Nascimento, have you seen or heard Mr. Henry say or do anything which would call into question in your mind whether you understand what's going on? All right, so Mr. Henry's 2 cases, sir. I'm going to go one at a time. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, this is before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state. You were charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is murder in the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital offenses. The maximum and mandatory penalty is life in Florida State prison. Counts 3 and 4 are accessory after the fact of murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies. The maximum penalty is 30 years in Florida State prison. In case number 23-10643 CF10A, you're charged in count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State prison.
Life,
Count 2,
5
directing
life
the activities of a
sentences.
criminal gang. That's a first degree felony. Again, punishable up to life in Florida State prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. Again, as it relates to a first degree murder charge, that is punishable by a maximum penalty of life in Florida State prison. And count 7, unlawful use of a 2-way communication device as charged. That's a second degree felony. The maximum penalty is 15 years in Florida State prison. So, sir, again, before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state, your maximum exposure here was life in Florida State prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State prison. Sir, do you understand all the pending charges and the maximum possible penalties involved? And it's my understanding that you want to resolve both cases today. Is that correct? And that resolution is an agreement you've reached with the state, the terms of which are as follows. Number one, in the 19 case, you're going to plead no contest to both counts of accessory after the fact. In the 23 case, you're going to plead no contest to all 4 counts as charged. In exchange for that, the state is going to null process, that is, drop the 2 first-degree murder counts. All right, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I always give my people information on anything.
So he's only going to plead to tampering with a witness in a capital felony.
I can't hold back no information about nothing I got.
Just the tampering and unlawful use.
Any game information that I give, I hope that I got, I hope I could give it to somebody who can go further with the shit than me.
So, Mr. Henry, what it's going to be is 2 counts of accessory after the fact, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and unlawful
feel like
use
God in that way.
A 2-way communication device. In exchange for that, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count. I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. In the unlawful use of a 2-way communication device, that's a 2nd-degree felony. The maximum exposure, it's the 2nd as charged, I believe. It's a 3rd, except as it relates to a capital case. But I'm happy to look it up.
Hold on, let's go over that again. My bad, I was distracted with my phone.
So, Mr. Henry, what it's going to be is 2 counts of accessory after the fact, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and unlawful use of a 2-way communication device. In exchange for that, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count. I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. In the unlawful use of a 2-way communication device, that's a 2nd-degree felony. The maximum exposure, it's the 2nd as charged, I believe. It's a 3rd, except as it relates to a capital case. But I'm happy to look it up.
Nah, Melly shouldn't. I don't even think they gonna have a deal for Melly. But whatever it is, I don't think he should take it. I think he should not take it and whoop that case. And then, boy, they're gonna be looking sick. Like, damn, I probably could have beat the case too. But you were just so ready to get out. Y'all still gonna get out around the same time. Like, if he beat the case, he gonna be out before him.
That was going to be the maximum.
5 years? Is that what you're going to do?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so, sir, as to that count, it's going to be adjudication of 5 years in Florida State Prison. So the 2 accessory counts as well as the temporary count, those come with 6 years of reporting probation after the Department of Corrections sentence. I'll give you credit for all the time that you've served in both cases. All the accessory counts. All right, so, sir, as to that count, it's going to be adjudication of 5 years in Florida State Prison. So the 2.
Hold on, go back. Go back some more.
Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation.
Go back some more.
The witness in a capital felony, conspiracy to commit tampering and unlawful use of a 2-way. So he's only going to plead to the tampering with a witness in a capital felony, conspiracy to commit tampering and unlawful use of a 2-way communication device.
Just the tampering and unlawful use.
Just count 1 and count 7.
Just tampering and unlawful use.
As it relates only to Mr. Henry.
Count 1 and 7.
So, Mr. Henry, what it's going to be is 2 counts of
right.
accessory after the fact, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and unlawful use of a 2-way communication device. In exchange for that, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count. I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. In the unlawful use of a 2-way communication device, that's a 2nd-degree felony. The maximum exposure, it's the 2nd as charged, I believe. It's a 3rd, except as it relates to a capital case. But I'm happy to look it up. So what did you want the negotiated sentence to be for that?
That was going to be the maximum.
5 years? Is that what you're going to do?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so, sir, as to that count, it's going to be adjudication of 5 years in Florida State Prison. So the 2 accessory counts.
They gave him a mask for that?
Come with 6 years of reporting probation after the Department of Corrections sentence. I'll give you credit for all the time that you've served in both cases. All those counts will run concurrently. All those sentences will run concurrently. All counts in all cases, that is at the same time with each other. I'm going to have to impose mandatory court costs.
So he ain't plead guilty on that. He pleaded no low.
Payable to Terry Bagley and payable to Ashley Phillips and reservist the amount. I'm going to give the state 120 days to tell me the amount of that restitution.
No contest.
If they fail to do so within 120 days, there will be no restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys agree on the amount, I will impose that as another condition of your sentence to pay back that restitution.
And no contest is not saying I'm not guilty, not saying I'm guilty, just saying I'm not finna contest y'all decision, y'all motherfucker charge against me. I'm not going against it.
If they come back with an amount and the attorneys do not agree on the amount, I will conduct a restitution.
Not saying I did, and I'm not saying I didn't.
Sir, lastly, and I want to make it very clear on the record, and it's unrelated to this negotiated change of plea, I guess at some point after the fact, the state wants to take a profit from you or have a discussion with you, ask you some
basically like the
about whatever that may be. What I want you to understand, sir, is I guess that's part of this negotiated resolution, but your answers to any of those questions, whatever they might be, have no bearing on me and have no bearing on this negotiated resolution. In other words, the deal you negotiated is the deal you negotiated, and that's the ballgame. You understand all that, sir? Have you had enough time to talk to your lawyers about all that?
And look, that's in life, period. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. You don't get what you worth. You get what you negotiate. That's in business, in the court, nigga, with your partners, all the significant all that shit, man.
They've answered
You
all
get
your
what you
questions.
negotiate.
You're sure that that's
You ain't getting no head. You ain't negotiated with your bitch in the beginning.
what you want to do? Because I want to emphasize, Mr. Henry, and I'm going to do this again at the end of my plea
Fast.
colloquy. Whether you resolve the case by way of a negotiated plea or an open plea to me, or
You
you
could be
resolve
a
the case by way
$1
of
million
a trial,
nigga out
I don't do it
here.
at all. But due to the resources that have been devoted to this case,
But you
as you and
negotiated to
jury
accept
summons, the jury will
motherfucking
be starting
pennies.
tomorrow. So I want to be very thorough with you here this afternoon, because if you wake up tomorrow or the next day and you decide you changed your mind and you want to resolve this case, both cases, by way of a jury trial, that's not going to happen. All right? If you want to have a trial, the trial starts tomorrow. If you want to accept the deal, you can accept the deal today. But there's not going to be any buyer's remorse, in other words, because I've given you plenty of time to think about this, talk to your lawyers about it, talk to your family about it. I talked to you about it last week. Kind of looks like your lawyers probably did something or other to get a better disposition for you as of this afternoon. But this is it today. So understanding all that, you've had enough time to talk to your lawyers about all that. That's what you want to do. So, sir, has anyone forced you, threatened you, or coerced you into entering these pleas? If I accept your pleas, there will not be a trial in either one of these cases. You understand that? If I accept these pleas, there's a whole bunch of constitutional rights you are giving up. I want to make sure you understand all of those rights. You have the right to maintain your plea of not guilty and have a trial in each case. You have the right to present defenses, to file motions and other pleadings in support of your defense. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have the state prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to confront and cross-examine the witnesses against you. You have the right to appeal any decisions that I may have made up to this point, or any rulings I might make in a future trial. But understanding by entering this negotiated resolution today, you are giving up all of those rights. The matter is going to be resolved today, right now, this afternoon. Is that what you want to do? Are you satisfied with your lawyers? Have you had enough time to speak with them? Have they answered all your questions? Are you satisfied with all the work that they have done for you? Sir, I've got two identical plea forms here entitled Plea of Guilty or No Contest to Criminal Charges in Circuit Court. Each one has your name on the top, your initials on the left-hand side, front and back, and your signature on the back. Did you go over both these forms? Any questions about what's on either of these forms? And is that your signature on the back of each form? Sir, there's a few things that I need to tell everyone that I take a plea from. They may or may not apply to you. If you are not a citizen of the United States, these pleas will result in your deportation. Do you understand that? Under the provisions of the Jimmy Rice Act, if the offenses to which you are pleading are sexually violent or sexually motivated offenses, or if you've been previously convicted of such offenses, then these pleas will subject you to an involuntary civil commitment as a sexually violent predator upon completion of your sentences. Do you understand that? If these are drug offenses, the Department of Motor Vehicles will revoke your driver's license for a period of 1 year. Do you understand that? Sir, paragraph 11 of each form that you sign reads as follows. I acknowledge that my attorney and I have reviewed any discovery disclosed by the state. My attorney is unaware of any physical evidence for which DNA may exonerate me. In other words, sir, if there's any physical evidence in the case that we could test for DNA, that DNA evidence would not tell me that you were not one of the people in that vehicle when these crimes occurred. But actually the opposite would be true. If there was any such physical evidence that could be tested for DNA, that DNA evidence would tell me that you were one of the two people that was inside this vehicle when these crimes occurred. Sir, do you agree with that statement? State, do you agree with that statement?
Yes,
Defense, do you agree with that statement? Mr. Henry, understanding everything that I have talked to you about up to this point, do you still want to go ahead and resolve both cases today, right now? Defense, is he stipulating to a factual basis for the purpose of each plea in both cases?
Yes.
And if he's entitled to a PSI defense, are you going to waive that as to each case?
Absolutely.
State, is there anything else that you need me to do before I take this plea? So, Mr. Henry, again, two cases. We're going to do one at a time. In case number 19, 1871 CF10A, as to count 3, accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree, and as to count 4, accessory after the fact as to murder in the first degree. How are you going to plead, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? In case number 23, 10643 CF10A, as to count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and count 7, unlawful use of a two-way communication device. How are you going to plead, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? I will accept your no contest pleas as to each. I'm going to find a factual basis to support each based upon my review of each electronic probable cause affidavit, as well as your stipulation in court here today. I'm going to further find that you have freely, voluntarily, and intelligently waived your rights, that you have knowingly entered each plea with the advice of competent counsel, who you've told me that you are satisfied with, that you understand the nature of the charges and the consequences of the plea. Accordingly, and pursuant to the negotiated agreement, I will sentence you as follows. In case number 19, 1871 CF10A as to count 3 and count 4. I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. I will impose mandatory court costs. Pursuant to 943.325, I will need a set of your prints and DNA. Pursuant to 938.27, I will impose a cost of prosecution of $100. Sir, I'm also ordering restitution in that case payable to Terry, Terri Bagley, Bagley, and Ashley, Ashley Phillips, Phillips, and reserving as to the amount. I'm going to give the state 120 days to tell me the amount of the restitution. If they fail to do so within 120 days, there will be no restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys agree on the amount, I will impose that as another condition of your sentence to pay back. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys do not agree on the amount, I will conduct a restitution here. That will conclude that. In case number 23-10643 CF10A, as to count 1 and count 7, I will adjudicate you guilty. Count 7 is a sentence of 5 years in Florida State Prison. Count 1 is a sentence of 10 years in Florida State Prison, followed by 6 years of reporting probation. I will impose mandatory court costs in that case as well. I will not impose the cost of prosecution in that case as I just did so in the previous case. Pursuant to 943.325, I will need another set of your prints and DNA. All of these, there is no restitution in that case. All of these sentences, all counts, both cases, will run concurrently. That is at the same time with each other. I will give you credit for all the time that you have served. State, in 19-1871 CF10A, your announcement as to counts 1 and 2.
The state announcing no such as counts runner.
And in case number 23-10643 CF10A, state your announcement as to count 2 and count 5.
The state announcing no such as counts as well.
I think that concludes all the matters. State, is there anything else that you need me to do regarding Mr. Henry in either case?
So we just have one moment.
I'm looking at the plea forms. The 23 case, they have 707 days credit for time served. In the 19 case, 1,348 credit for time served.
Nothing else I can use have in court.
So listen, my the fee hearing docket is at 3:30 p.m. So
We've already spoken to BSI, I think we're just in court.
okay. I mean, I was going to make it available if you wanted to do it now.
I think.
Okay. So they're in charge.
The coordinator.
Yeah.
Anything else from the defense on behalf of Mr. Henry? All right, Mr. Henry, I'm not quite sure how your lawyers managed to do this, but I wish you good luck, sir. Yeah, he'll be on Mr. Smith and Mr. Henry.
Bro got
We'll have a
10
probation officer
with
tomorrow.
6 years probation, so he gonna get out next year with 85%.
I will sign all the paperwork if you want to stick around for that. We're otherwise going to be in recess till 3:30 p.m. The fee hearing docket starts at 3:30 p.m. So we'll be in a recess.
We are not a traditional cafe. We're
Yeah, bro got 10 years with 6 years probation, so he gonna have he gonna get out. Ultimately, he gonna end up getting out this year because he gonna get time served for the 7 years. So all he gotta do is like another year and a half, and they're gonna let him out on probation. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen, man. So he playing no content a little, but I don't know if that shit gonna affect Melly like that too much. You know what I'm saying? They still gotta prove that shit beyond a reasonable doubt that he's guilty. They just fucked up that they ain't released that boy how they know they should have. They should have granted that boy a release until his hearing. Both of them for real. That's how I feel. But Melly go to trial next month. Melly ain't got shit yet. That's why they get him out the way first, because he the accessory. So they trying to make the case stronger on Melly. You know what I'm saying? They probably what they gonna do, they're gonna present him with an offer too, but they're gonna take the death penalty off the table with the offer. But he ain't gonna get no sweet offer like that, I don't think. He gonna have to take that bitch all the way to the door to beat them. You feel me? Like, he gotta take that bitch all the way to the door. He gotta make them prove that shit beyond a shadow of a reasonable doubt You know what I'm saying? So, and the fact that the first trial was a mistrial, you feel me? That's good. That's good news for him. You feel me? Bortlen just tapped out. He just done. He just don't want to be in that bitch no more. You could tell, like nigga is exhausted going through that whole process. Like, especially like you know what I'm saying. You lost your partner behind some shit, and you know they make it seem like y'all did the shit. They painting the whole picture and narrative and shit, and going with that shit. And if it was factual, that shit would have been proven so fast. We are in the age of technology, bro. Nigga ain't getting away with no type of shit like that, man. And then y'all taking 10 years to prove it. Come on, y'all aren't doing this because he's a high profile name. Whatever deal or I'm telling you, it's something else behind that shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But mark my words, bro. I'm telling you, it's something else behind that shit, bro. This is not just no motherfucking this they trying to put that on him. They trying to put that shit on that man because he was a famous rapper. How fast he was blowing up. Think about this shit. He had just dropped a fucking record with motherfucking Kanye West, nigga. Who the fuck else was coming up that quick to drop some shit like Kanye West and he ain't even had no deal, no shit like that? Who the fuck was he signed to? I know the nigga had the same manager as Vaughn. He had the same manager now. So man, I don't know. I could look at that shit up right now, right? I could check that shit right now. Man, let me ask the nigga on my phone. Everybody got a nigga on their phone, man. They can ask questions too, man. I ain't got Siri. I got an Android. My iPhone broke, so I ain't got Siri. And they canceled that bitch anyway, like Nino Brown didn't. Anyway, fuck that. Let's ask the nigga on my phone, man. Hold on, where the nigga at? Wake up, nigga. It ain't bedtime yet. Hey, um, what label was YNW Melly signed to? Shut up, bitch. I ain't even asking. What label was YNW Melly signed to?
YNW Melly was signed to 300
Atlantic. Atlantic is some dirty niggas. I ain't gonna lie. I swear, Atlantic was swapping out not um, they was swapping out Young Boy and Kodak when they were beefing. I'm telling you, bro. The same people that own the labels own the prisons. Ice Cube told you niggas that shit. And I noticed that shit when I heard that shit with Ice Cube, and then I noticed how they niggas was beefing and they was swapping them boys out. They said, all right, this nigga get out, put that nigga in jail. All right, this nigga get out, put that nigga back in jail. You ain't never noticed, ain't nobody never noticed that shit. Watch somebody else finna watch if them niggas start beefing again. All right, ain't they both still signed to Atlanta? No, I think that boy, young boy, free now. So that's why they ain't worried about it. So that's why they both. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell. I don't know. I don't keep up with that shit like that. I don't want to lie, but yeah, man, they're gonna try to do Melly in. They're gonna try to give Melly um the death penalty if he blow trial, and I know he going to trial. Ain't no question about it, bitch. He ain't taking no deal, bitch. He gonna say, bitch, man, he taking that bitch to trial. I promise you. I'm telling you, if his lawyer say, man, we finna beat this shit, we could beat this shit, that nigga taking that shit to trial. Now, if his lawyer coming out with some bullshit, like, but see, I think he got new representation too. I think Melly got new representation. Cause they were like, he had an option to drop his lawyer because she had a criminal case. We all reacted to that. I reacted to that bill. That bitch had a criminal case, man. That bitch was going through it with her kids and shit, and then trying to lie on her baby daddy and shit. Dog, that shit was funny, boy. That shit was funny. You could look at Melly lawyer getting arrested and shit. You could search that shit. That shit was stupid. But yeah, man, they finna try to do that boy in. Man, I feel like I feel like he gonna take that shit to trial and whoop that shit, bro. That's what I feel like. Ain't no telling what it look like. This plea right here, it don't affect him that much. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think this plea affected him at all. Now, if he would have put in a guilty plea to one of them counts that they try to put on him, but he put a no contest, you could just tell that boy just like he just emotionally and mentally drained from that shit, bro. He just want to goddamn be around his people and shit. They caught this case before Corona, man. You gotta think how many motherfucking people they done lost while they was locked up in that bed, couldn't go to funeral, all type of shit, all type of fuck shit happened. Like, and then you supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, ain't you? How the fuck after that first mistrial you don't allow Melly to go home until the next trial date? Like, and it was only gonna be like a month and a half or some shit. That's how that shit is. Hey man, but hey, ain't no telling, bro. I don't even, ain't boy. And Jet not even from Jet. Where this shit happen at? I don't forgot where this shit happen at. Jet like from Vero Beach or somewhere. Where the hell Jet from? You'll think his ass from Jacksonville. How they doing this case on my boy? I'm like, man, well, I'm thinking this nigga from Jacksonville because that nigga definitely ain't from Jacksonville. Yeah, definitely ain't there, bro. But yeah, man. What y'all think? Y'all think it's over with for that boy Melly? Y'all think he, you know what I'm saying, gonna get the death penalty? You know how Melly been looking in that bed, drained like a bitch. So you know how Bortlen was feeling. That boy had a little uh, look of hope in his eyes and shit. After that shit though, like yeah, I'm finna get up out this bitch. He ain't worried about motherfucking dying in that bitch. What? That's that hurt when you like, man. They trying to have a nigga die in this bitch. Well, if you ever seen the movie Life, boy, that's some fucked up shit. Imagine it's niggas all over America, bro. It's niggas all over America that is probably, I guarantee it's a nigga, it's at least two niggas in every state in America probably doing life for some shit that they ain't even do. Just think about the movie like it's two niggas in America, in every state in America that probably doing life for some bullshit that they ain't even do. Yeah, no. I'm not even from here. Wherever you think I'm from, I ain't even from here, bro. I ain't from Earth, nigga. I'm one of them new aliens they just told y'all about, for real. I ain't gonna lie to you. That damn sure wasn't new. That damn sure not from here, cuz. Brussy. Bruss, I'm damn sure not from here, Bruss. I'm damn sure not from this bitch. Somebody told me to look at Lil Jeff shit. Lil Jeff talking about ain't this buddy that died though? Ain't this buddy that went on the drill and got killed? He tried to run up in somebody's shit and lay him down and they hit him up. They said they hit that boy like 19 times or some shit. Is this that nigga? I don't know if this the same nigga. Lil Jeff Killers reveals why he told him before shooting him. Reveal what he told him before shooting him 14 times. Yeah, 14, 19. I was off by 5. Shot a nigga 14 times.
Jeff said something to his killer, and now that killer is out here talking about it like it was just another day. Before the shots rang out, before bullets tore through him, Lil Jeff said something to his killer, and now that killer is out here talking about it like it was just another day. Trap City. Rob didn't just take Jeff's life. He's acting like it was nothing but business.
I understand everybody's sad and shit, but hey, somebody got to be sad at the end of the day. We need to get this together.
But now, word on the streets is that Jeff's crew isn't just mourning. They've already started sliding in his name. In this video, we break it all down. What was really said, and why many believe this is far from over. Trap City Rob's revelation. Lil Jeff's killer has proved himself as a certified OG. He is not afraid of nothing. And according to him, he doesn't feel any remorse for Lil Jeff. He messed around and he found out. According to him, even if people are sad about Jeff's death, he had to stand on business and protect the porch from the ops.
I understand everybody's sad and shit, but hey, somebody got to be sad at the end of the day. We need to get this together.
And if you think Trap City Rob is afraid of his ops sliding in retaliation, well, there's no need to worry on his behalf. He has everything under control. You see, the Bloodhounds are obviously looking to get their get back, and Trap City Rob's death would be the perfect person to send a message to the rest of their ops that they shouldn't be messed with. One guy took to the internet to post, planning on spinning Trap City, my main target being the jelly bean looking at on the right called Trap City Rob. Anyone want to come along? Let me know. Straps aren't funded, so bring your own. Well, Rob has sent them a message. People have been trying to kill him all his life, but none have succeeded. And if they are about that life, they should bring it.
Like you don't be getting death threats and shit. That's why I was asking. If you didn't get a chance to even ask that shit.
I don't take that shit serious, man. Trying to kill me my whole life, bro. I ain't gonna. You gotta show me for real.
And on June 8, 2024, cameras would capture just how ruthless Trap City Rob can be when it comes to protecting his turf and his homies. In the early hours of June 9th, news broke out of a death in Chicago. Unidentified male victim shot and killed in Chicago, Illinois on June 8, 2024. Spot News reports that the victim killed is Chicago rapper Bloodhound Lil Jeff. And it wasn't long before CCTV footage of the incident found its way onto the internet. The minute-by-minute chain of events was wild. The surveillance footage from the 6,600 block of S. Rhodes Avenue captured a group of individuals near a house and several parked cars. Among them were Lil Jeff's homies, the ones in the black car, the person dressed all in black, another in red, who was later identified as Q50, and one wearing a white hoodie. Meanwhile, a man in yellow shorts was seen, attempting to get into a car when Lil Jeff spotted him. In the footage, the door of the black car opens. It's Lil Jeff. Without hesitation, he begins chasing the man in yellow shorts. However, his figure quickly disappears from view, obscured by a large pillar of the house. While Lil Jeff pursued the target, his homies did not follow. Instead, they turned their attention to a gray car opening fire. Lil Jeff managed to hit the man in yellow shorts once in the chest, but before he could press further, two other individuals suddenly emerged from an alley and returned fire. His body was sent flying back onto the ground at the foot of the porch, and as Lil Jeff lay on the pavement, the shooters finished the job. Reports say they emptied an entire magazine into him from above, making sure there was no coming back. Q50 and the other shooter fired back, but it was already over. There was no saving him. And just like that, the crew abandoned him, hopping back in the car and speeding off, leaving Jeff behind in a pool of blood. As the video ends, scanner reports confirm that a victim who had been shot 15 times was transported to the hospital by his homies. CCTV footage actually showed Lil Jeff's carrying their homie from the porch where he had been shot up. Despite their efforts, Lil Jeff was pronounced dead upon arrival. By the time authorities arrived, the scene was littered with evidence. 58 shell casings scattered across the pavement. Meanwhile, the man in yellow shorts, also wounded, arrived at the hospital with his own crew, suffering from a gunshot wound to the chest. Unlike Lil Jeff, he survived. This was none other than Trap City Rob. He had come face to face with the Reaper and lived to tell the tale. Others have not been so lucky, because not only did they slide on them, they made sure that they went after innocent family members at a funeral to strike fear into the hearts of their enemies. They were out for blood, and it wasn't long before they found their next target, Trap City Carter. On October 20th, 2024, news outlets reported that a man had tragically lost his life in Chicago. The previous night had seen shots being left off in the city's Oakland neighborhood. By the time it was all over, a man lay bleeding on the pavement, his life slipping away with every passing second. It happened around 8:41 p.m. on South Ellis Avenue, a block that, like so many others in the city, had seen its fair share of violence. Witnesses told police that two men had approached their target, guns drawn, and fired without hesitation. The 32-year-old victim never had a chance. Within moments, the shooters had jumped into a white vehicle and disappeared into the night. Paramedics arrived quickly, rushing the victim to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but the damage was done. The victims had sustained multiple gunshot wounds to the chest and had lost too much blood. Despite the best efforts of the doctors, he was pronounced dead shortly after arriving. The medical examiner identified him as Chevelle Carter, Lil Jeff's affiliates couldn't hide their excitement over his death. They hopped on social media where, just like Lil Jeff, posted cryptic messages that hinted at Carter's murder being get back for Lil Jeff's death. They wanted everyone to know that they had just murked one of their biggest ops. Q50, one of Lil Jeff's closest affiliates, took to Instagram where he posted 3 blunts and a message implying that he was done sliding because he had avenged his homie's deaths. Lil Scoom and Lil Jeef Boolin feet kicked up, "Now I can get rich. I love and miss y'all." He also captioned it, "P.S. It ain't over." And true to his words, retribution for Lil Jeff's death wasn't over because it was about to get a whole lot messier. Because just a few days later, another person would lose their lives in the
Yeah,
gang.
y'all
This
just
time,
said that shit back and forth. That shit ain't never gonna be over, bro. It's never gonna be over. You could get rich. Yeah, you think so, bro. And Buddy got his shit hit up how many times in St. Louis? And that boy, by the grace of God, boy, you ain't get hit at all. Was you even in that bitch? Was you not in that bitch? Who got hit? I ain't hit by nobody down, but that was a bulletproof. It couldn't be a bulletproof. I don't know. It could have been. I ain't heard nobody say shit about nothing being bulletproof though. But boy, you blessed, boy. Hey, stay out the streets, boy.
the victim had nothing to do with the streets. On November 2nd, what was supposed to be Trapsody Carter.
And that's the nigga that was on the stream they had hitting the damn line of cocaine. You know he get high.
Sending off turned into yet another tragic
They
incident in
get high.
Chicago. News outlets reported a woman was shot and killed while taking part in a funeral procession
Niggas
for her
on
brother in
coke.
South suburban Dixmoor. She had come to say her final goodbyes, to grieve with family, to honor the life of someone she had loved. Instead, she lost her own. At exactly 12:01 p.m., Dixmoor police were called to the scene at 147th Street and Sealy Avenue, where a white Jaguar SUV had crashed into a house. But the real tragedy wasn't the crash itself. It was what officers found inside the vehicle. Behind the wheel was a 34-year-old woman, her body slumped, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. She had been driving in the
Damn.
funeral procession, making her
That's
way from
fucked
St.
up,
Mark's Church
bro.
in Harvey when the shots rang out. The same streets that had carried her brother's
That's
final
some
journey
low
had now
ass
become
shit,
the
bro.
site of her own. Paramedics rushed her to UChicago Medicine Ingalls Memorial Hospital in Harvey, fighting to keep her alive. But the damage was too severe. She was pronounced dead soon after arriving. Later, authorities identified her as Romesha
Y'all
Turner
some
of
dirty
Calumet.
ass niggas, bro. Y'all some dirty ass niggas for that, bro. React to the baby what? What the fuck the baby did? What the fuck did the baby do? What video, man? Drop the link in the chat. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna
She
do
was
it.
Trapsody Carter's sister. For Lil Jeff's affiliates, there was no line they
This
couldn't
shit
cross
here
trying to get
sad,
revenge for
man.
their homie, whether it's shooting up.
This some sad ass shit right here, bro. And they say they sending the National Guard to Chicago. Y'all think that shit finna help Trump? You think what's the whole purpose? Do you really think is that even true? I ain't see nothing about. I don't know. Maybe they know about it because they from over there and shit. They got to know. Did somebody just tell them that? Because I know people was like, man, Trump. I know people kept saying Trump need to send them people over to Chicago. Trump, and then what? Did Trump just say, "Fuck it, I'm finna send them people"? Over. Man, it's only 500,000. There's only 500,000 National Guard members. All of them motherfuckers ain't fighters. So if there's only a 500,000 National Guard members, it's about 3 million. The population in Chicago about 3 million. They say the gang population is upwards to about probably 200,000. So the National Guard only got about double the amount of the gang members in Chicago. Now the U.S. military got stupid, upgraded, updated type of shit. Now I do know about this gun that they've been working on, that they've been worked on. That bitch shoot around the corner, right? That bitch ain't in the hood. But I've been wanting that. I wanted that bitch about. It been out about 10 years. And I'm gonna tell you, I remember seeing the story. It was longer than about 10 years. I know they got that bitch available. That shit that shoot around the corner, and it got the precision and like a little camera, like a little goddamn. You know what I'm saying? To show you how that bit, where that bit finna go around. Man, look, I don't know how that bit look through the wall. I don't know what it. That bit was suited up. I gotta go back to the shit and look at it. But man, what? Man, motherfucker don't want to play with the type of guns that them people got. If them motherfuckers bring a tank through that bitch, them niggas ain't gonna know what the fuck to do with no fucking tank in the hood, man. Unless they got rocket launchers, and niggas do be having access to rocket launchers. Let me shut the fuck up. Chicago, I don't know. Maybe y'all could set an example for.
Funeral or murdering an
Maybe y'all
innocent
could set an
family member of
example
an
to
already dead op. The
motherfucking
gangsters and
to motherfucking make a storm for the government. Maybe y'all could set the example for the rest of the nation for all of us to join together and goddamn take back this shit. How them people said that we need to do.
Chicago were taking things to a new low. And now Lil Jeff's big brother has entered the chat. Straight from jail, and with his brother's death still fresh, people are predicting chaos in Chicago. Sliding for Lil Jeff.
Maybe they could set the
Bloodhound,
example,
Lil
man.
Jeff's
Maybe they
big
could
brother,
be the
Jay
ones to
Boogie, is
pop it
currently
off.
caught between a rock and a hard place. You see, just days before he was murked, Lil Jeff asked his homies to slide for him if his ops ever took him out. And even though Jay Boogie was in jail, Jeff's wishes most certainly apply to him, at least according to the laws of the streets. However, the guys
But
who murked
hey,
his brother...
I will say that is the most gangsterish shit that could fucking happen in America. If all you motherfucking niggas get together and protect y'all fucking city against that motherfucking National Guard and y'all do y'all thing and send them bitches running the fuck away. If y'all could do it, that would set an amazing precedent for the rest of America and all the cities and all the street niggas around the country. If y'all niggas could do that shit, just think about that shit. I'm just thinking about it now. Cause remember, they thought they were talking about this 100 niggas versus gorilla shit. Like 100 niggas won't motherfucking demolish a gorilla. Like think about that. They talking like, imagine if these motherfuckers could conquer the National Guard in their city. And imagine if all the gangs in Chicago can unite just for that one sole purpose. To get them the fuck out y'all business and let y'all handle that shit how y'all want to. That would set an amazing example for every
were
city
once his homeboys.
around.
Matter of fact, he didn't have any beef with them. I mean, even his supposed ops, Trap City, were confused by the whole situation. In a vlog featuring OTF Black and Trap City affiliates, Taro and Rob, OTF Black revealed that he was locked up with Jay Boogie's dad, and that Jay Boogie grew up under the Black Disciples, meaning he was cool with Trap City.
And you know what's crazy?
But see, the National Guard and martial law is two different things. Now, martial law, they could bring the entire motherfucking army around this bitch. And what the fuck? U.S. Army population. They got to be like 10 million.
The total U.S. Army population is 946,961 uniformed personnel, with 452,823 soldiers, 328,084 in the Army National Guard, 170,601 in the Army Reserve as of June 2020.
Hey, but all of them is some bad motherfuckers, but not all of them. But you gotta think about it, bro. That's not enough people to control. That's not enough people, bro. It's not. That is not enough soldiers, dog. It's not, bro. It's not. Maybe for just Chicago alone, that's enough. It definitely is. But yeah, definitely all them, yeah. 900,000. Close to 1 million, bro. Nah, they definitely could do that shit. They just drop 1 million. Everybody in one city, they fucking cities up. They go city by city.
Jay Boogie
That's how that shit go down.
Like this looks up better. Like on that. I don't know how this gonna play out.
And according to Trap City Rob, Jay Boogie was still claiming Trap City.
They say he ain't claiming the hood still.
But he Trap City.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
How the fuck
all
you gonna
weird,
do that
bro.
and you over Saturday night blood? Like you can't. But we already know Trap City and Drill City was the same.
Lucky and Water. Like, that's our family.
At the time, Jay Boogie was in jail. So when it was revealed that he would be coming home 2 years early, and just months after his little brother had been gunned down, everyone was eager to know which side he would align with. Would he join the Bloodhounds, which he had claimed since it was founded, or would he choose his childhood friends? I mean, decisions don't come tougher than this. For most, the most logical thing for Jay Boogie to do would be to lay low and let the situation blow over. Crashing out was not an option. Hell, even make peace with the guys who killed your brother. After all, Trap City didn't go out looking for his brother. Lil Jeff was killed trying to slide on them on their home turf. Plus, they had all been childhood friends, so it's not like he would be snaking his brother and his homies. Well, that's what any rational person would think. But you see, the streets are different. It's an eye for an eye, blood paid with blood. The streets demand loyalty to one side. And in cases where someone finds themselves loyal to two sides, they always end up backdooring one side. That's what happened to Quando Rondo. You see, back in 2022, Savannah rapper Quando Rondo was ambushed and almost killed. The plan to take him out was planned with precision. Court documents show a well-coordinated plan that involved private jets, rented cars, and hired assassins. But what's even more crazy is that Quando was set up by someone with double loyalty. After King Von's death at the hands of Quando Rondo's right-hand man, Lil Teen, rumors began to circulate that Dirk had placed a bounty on Rondo's head. The OTF head honcho told OTF members that he would pay a bounty to anyone who would take part in killing Quando Rondo. What's even more crazy is that Dirkio's cousin, DeAndre Wilson, alias OTF Didi, promised OTF members lucrative music deals with OTF if they participated in sliding on Quando. Street, different breed. Committing murder for a music deal is beyond wild. But in August 20...
Man, listen, man. Listen, man. And them niggas do it. Them niggas be ready to do that shit, too. I know a nigga said, bro, what's up, bro? You got any problems, man? I handle a nigga for your ass for a video, bro. I just want a video, dog. I just need me a video. I said, bro, you ain't gotta do no shit like that for me to get no video, bro. Just call me, bro, and get like, I do it for you. I ain't gonna tell you no number, bro. Just, you gonna have to give me a little something, probably, but bro, you ain't gotta do no shit like that for me. What the fuck, buddy, got going on? Niggas be ready to do shit for little to nothing, but for any little opportunity, bro. And that's the fucked up thing about it, bro. These people use our kids, use our family. You know what I'm saying? Use our people for some bullshit and manipulate them, just get their hopes up. And in regards to making their dream come true, like selling bitches dreams, that shit is flawed as fuck. Like, you gotta think about how many people get used, misled over some bullshit. Like, that's probably a lot of reason kids get missing.
2022,
like, think about it. Offering
Quando
candy.
was set in motion while he was in Los Angeles with his cousin Lil Pop. As the story goes, Quando Rondo was lucky to
Melly
escape
ain't
the
got
ordeal
no
of his
years.
life.
Melly
His
go to
cousin,
trial
on the
next
other
month.
hand, wasn't so lucky. He was shot and killed that
Melly
day.
go to
And
trial
now,
next
years
month.
after the incident happened, we know
Melly go to trial next month. This case, they just got his co-defendant out the way. They try to make their case stronger on Melly, you feel me? They're gonna present that boy with an offer to see if he fold before his trial, because his last trial was a mistrial. But if he take it to the door, he should beat that shit. I think that case weak, bro. They gotta prove that shit beyond a reasonable doubt.
what really went down and who was the snake in Quando's camp
I
who
don't
almost
think
got
they
the
gonna do
rapper
it.
killed.
They
After
can't.
the incident, everyone at the
I don't
time
think they
thought
gonna
that
do
Quando
it.
Rondo had been involved in a drug deal gone
That's
bad.
why they.
We all thought
That's
that
why
was
they
a
just gave his co-defendant 10 years and 6 years probation versus trying to get his ass for 5 life sentences. Come on, man. Come on, bro. If they had a solid case and they was really trying to present an offer, that shit would have been like, all right, we gonna offer your ass 20 years. They gonna offer that boy 25 something. Man, what?
bad drug deal, weed deal. You know that.
But still, he pled no contest. I don't know if he said I don't. It ain't documented in that case if he said nothing. But
The
if he said
world
something,
thought
bro, come
that
out on
that
Melly trial.
shooting was a bad weed deal
But I don't think he
between
said
some
nothing against Melly.
Armenians or Persians. That's what the world thought.
However, through his sources, WAC 100 revealed to the world that Brick Baby was not only cooperating with the cops to bring Lil Durk down, but also worked with Lil Durk when Quando was almost killed by OTF assassins. In a podcast with Adam 22, WAC revealed that according to his sources, Brick Baby was a federal informant.
So you think that he's a federal informant?
Yes.
I think he's definitely working.
Now here's where the accusations between Whack 100 and Brick Baby get interesting. Months before Lil Durk and his fellow OTF members were arrested, Brick Baby house was raided by the feds and he was arrested. And although Brick was bailed out by Adam 22, no charges were ever brought up against him, which according to Whack 100 meant that Brick was cooperating.
How do you react to the narrative that Whack has been consistently?
I think he the feds too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think all them niggas are fucking police.
Putting out there, which is basically him saying that Brick maybe must be cooperating or compromising.
This nigga, this nigga look like to be. He look like the nigga off Snowfall. He look like he could be related to the motherfucking Franklin Plug or some shit. That's who we're about. The FBI agent. That's who the fuck this thing is, right?
In some way, because you allegedly got arrested by the feds and there's no charges. So what do you say when you see him saying that?
Well, months later, Whack 100 finally revealed why Brick had been taken by the feds from his house. According to Whack, Brick Baby had gone on a podcast and snitched on Durk and OTF.
And it wasn't until February of 2023 that Brick Baby goes on the internet with Flacco and says, out of nowhere,
with Flacco,
the world is oblivious to this. I guess they can't say OTF didn't slide for King Von anymore.
While on an episode with Poetic Flacco, Brick Baby had revealed that no one says that Von's death wasn't avenged because OTF had taken out Quando Rondo's cousin.
They say you can't say that no more. Why? Oh yeah, because of no. Like who died? You can't say that no more. Oh, because of FBG Cash? Or who? Nah, because Lil Pop.
It turns out that after the podcast, the feds got a search warrant, and according to Whack 100, they had come to get Brick Baby's phone, an important detail that Brick conveniently chose to hide from everyone. Instead, he told everyone that he was slapped with a gun charge.
March, the feds get on Brick. We don't know this. We're under the presumption that it's an AK-47 case. But what really happened was they came there to get his cell phone.
What's crazy is that Brick hasn't been charged yet and doesn't have a court date.
They gonna always get you niggas with them phones. They gonna always get niggas with their phones because nigga got everything on their damn phone. Look, they got ways now. They don't even need your fucking phone, nigga. They just need your number. They don't need your phone, nigga. They just need your number now. For a lot of shit, man, I know it. Man, I know. They just need your motherfucking number, nigga.
Gun charge. What are the odds that a known gang member and convicted felon would get a gun charge and no court date? And Brick might think that the world is done.
I know some bitches that sell some bags just to get some cash.
Why would the DA reject the charge?
It's not they rejected. They just is not enough evidence for them. They got to look at the case and say,
He
can I
should.
beat this in trial?
I mean, this guy is clearly lying through that wide gap in his teeth, but wait till you find out why he was cooperating. After Durk's indictment became public, Whack 100 revealed that the reason the feds wanted Brick's phone was because they suspected that he was working with OTF members on the day of the shooting and providing the hitman with Quando Rondo's location.
If you go in there and look at that report, number 4 is a local guy that was dropping Quando's locations.
According to Whack, after the shooting, the feds informed Quando Rondo that he had been set up by his gang, the Rolling 60s crew.
What you think the police told Quando?
That's why that boy crashed out.
Set him up.
It turns out Brick
That's why
Baby
that
and
boy
Quando
like-
Rondo were repping the same gang.
That's why that boy said, man, fuck these niggas, man, I'm dropping my shit. I ain't repping this shit no more. My boy said, my boy's in there finna cry. My boy said, I ain't doing this shit no more, man. Oh, that ain't exactly how it was, but it was something like that. Yeah, my boy dropping his flag. He said, fuck this Crip and shit.
And when Quando landed in Atlanta,
wanna
he
walk
checked in with
again.
his gang for protection.
What was he claiming?
Roll 60 script.
Where Brick Baby from?
Roll 60 script.
Who you think he checked in with?
Roll 60s.
With who?
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
That's why the Savannah rapper took to
Okay,
social
I see
media
where you're
to
going with
announce his
this.
gang, claiming that they didn't have his back. Brick was loyal to his gang.
He did
and
that to the
Lil Durk,
feds.
and because of this, he ended
That's
up
the
betraying
feds
a
talking to
fellow
the
gang.
feds.
And this bozo had the nerve to go on Vlad TV to
Oh,
say
my
that
bad.
if he was
Family,
low
it's
on
a
money,
family
he
of
would
a fed.
backdoor his homies.
Talking to a fed. Cause they say, Wax say he ain't a fed. Wax say he ain't a fed. He's a family. He's a friend of family. Friend of family fed. Some shit like that. Whatever he said. Yeah, I heard him when he said that shit. Why he got that badge?
The streets and been low.
Shit, I told my motherfucking cousin, man, you need to goddamn give me your firefighter badge. Don't you got a friend or family firefighter?
be like, hey, I got 60,000.
You give my goddamn friends and family firefighter bad. That shit might save
This
me,
is
man.
why Jay Boogie can't
I've
have
been
dual
putting out
loyalty.
fires
He
all
will
my
end
life.
up snaking one gang for the other and make permanent enemies on either side. But when he came home from jail, everyone automatically knew which side he had chosen because shortly after, he would be doing the usual bloodhound stuff, snorting drugs on camera. And since he seems to be kicking in it with the bloodhounds, the pressure to slide for his lil bro might start mounting, from fans to his fellow gang members. And we all know what happened the last time someone let the internet pressure them into sliding for their mans. Yep, Lil Durk ended up in jail for
No matter what,
allegedly
though, do
hiring
it
hitmen
capital.
to take out Rondo. When Von died, it seemed Durk didn't want to slide for his dead best friend. He even told fans to stop telling him to slide on his ops for Von. In his track, Hearing Sirens, Durk raps, "My brother shot dead to violence. I truly think the feds around us, y'all tell me slide, then turn around, then have the nerve to clown us. You ain't worried about lawyers. You'd rather talk about Tory and Meg Thee Stallion like them blogs, not your dog. You niggas turn to cowards." However, the slide for Von comments must have got to him. In an interview, DJ Academics asked the rapper what he thought about people telling him to slide.
Why wouldn't that shit? You know that shit gonna get to you, bro. This a nigga you came up with your whole life. Y'all were broke together, all type of shit. Y'all come from the same area. Y'all get money together. You put, you know what I'm saying? You brought him in this game to get more money to change his family life and change, you know what I'm saying, more people life, because he gonna put somebody on after him type shit. Keep the chain going. Man, that shit like guilty conscience type shit. And then you know what you come from. You know where you like, what the fuck?
Slide for Von.
You get triggered by
Beat the shit out of this little ass, man. What you talking about?
And then it was statements like he was telling Vaughn, stop taking it easy on the ops and shit like that. Stop playing around with him and shit like that right before that shit happened. So yeah, the nigga probably got somewhere guilty conscience behind all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Let's slide from our comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned
I think
like,
Dirk gonna beat that case as long. I think Dirk beat that case.
they be saying slide for Von. I think they trolling me.
Well, according to Lil Durk, there was a reason those comments had long disappeared from the internet.
For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing the comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
Academics was shocked as Durkio's words slowly sunk in, a rapper talking about murder so casually. Well, now that he is behind bars, there's a major fallout within his gang, OTF, allegations of
He wasn't
snitching,
talking about murder.
murdering
He just
family
said he
baby
ain't
mamas,
see,
and even more
he ain't see
arrests
them comments
looming.
no
Well,
more.
after Lil
And
Jeff's death,
thought
the
about it.
Bloodhounds have also seen a falling out, from Lil Scoom getting backdoored by a female to the gang carrying out what might be the most brutal murder in Chicago's history, the Bloodhound fallout. The Bloodhounds have been taking L's for some time now. Just 1
Damn.
month after Lil Jeff was
They say the Bloodhound been taking
gunned down, another one of their top rappers and shooters also met his death. On June 7th, tragedy struck in the Chatham neighborhood at the intersection of 89th Place and Langley Avenue. At around 11:50 p.m., a Syrian Hogan, alias Lil Scoom, and his 16-year-old friend Lil Will got into a heated argument with another individual. Words turned into threats, and in the blink of an eye, gunfire erupted. When the smoke cleared, Scoom was down. His friend was wounded but survived. Paramedics rushed Scoom to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but the damage was done. He didn't make it. Meanwhile, police spotted a suspect fleeing the scene and a foot chase ensued. Shots were fired at officers, leading to a massive emergency response. CPD, SWAT, and multiple districts were called in, but in the chaos, the gunman managed to escape. Lil Scoom's label issued a statement saying, "It is with great sadness that we share the loss of our artist Lil Scoom." A true creative, Scoom's passion for music was evident in the near constant flow of songs and videos to his fans. His immense talent, ambitious vision, and quiet determination made him a one of one and an inspiration to so many. We will miss him dearly. Our thoughts are with his family. However,
I ain't
days
laughing,
later,
man.
the
I'm
true
laughing
story
at how
about
that
Lil
audio
Scoom's
twist.
death would come out, and it was one of the craziest stories of backdooring in the Chicago gang war because it was all documented and leaked on the internet. It turns out he was set up by a girl called Nene Brooks. People were even posting alleged DMs with her showing her admitting to backdooring the Bloodhound rapper. And you already know Lil Scoom's affiliates were on to her. Vaughn of 1700 called the girl and threatened her saying, "I just called Nene," talking about, "I don't know why you calling my phone. We killing you, that's why." Word on the street is that Lil Scoom was going to get his hair braided at his girlfriend's house where the alleged backstabber was camping at. The girl who was doing Scoom's hair is called Journey, and it was at her crib. In one of the leaked DMs, one of the alleged shooters asks Nene where she's at and if Scoom is at the house. The alleged shooter also tells Nene, "Don't let nobody know you texting me." Nene not only dropped Scoom's location, she was also updating his ops on his every move. Footage leaked showing Scoom, Lil Will, Journey, and Nene walking up to the house. Nene walks slowly behind everyone and is busy on her phone with people speculating
that she was busy colluding with Scoom's ops. At first, after the footage was leaked, everyone thought that it was Journey who had done her boyfriend dirty. She appeared too nervous and didn't even have the keys to her own house.
Damn, how you don't got the keys to your own house? Where the keys at? Locked out your house.
I told you I have no key. I take this all the time, but I don't have no key. Like,
According to Trench's News, Journey was the Black Widow. In fact, she already had a deceased boyfriend.
Lil Scoom was backdoored as clear as day. Everybody want to talk about
Damn.
this girl Nene and that Nene was on her phone and all that. That's cool now. Y'all saying that Nene, that's cool. But let's talk about Journey. Let's talk about Journey wife. Let's talk about this Journey girl. This girl is a Black Widow. She already got a boyfriend that's DOA. That's DOA.
Lil Scoom's girl would later go on DJ UTV and reveal that Nene had actually backdoored her boyfriend.
How did you and Nene fall out?
So really the Scoom stuff, like, it wasn't no, like, after I found out it was really her, it really wasn't.
So you
no,
believe it really was her that backdoored him, set him up?
Yes.
With this kind of evidence, Scoom's affiliates were already tracking her with Vaughn of 1700 posting her locations and her number. They started trolling her and making obituary flyers and using her photo. All the death threats started to get serious and now it was time to dip. Turns out her folks wanted her out of Chicago immediately. A few hours later, she was on a flight out of Chicago, which she posted saying, "Never coming back." According to Scoom's girl, while she was attending to the rapper's hair, Nene went to the bathroom and locked the door where she was supposedly still coordinating with the shooters. Time passed, and Journey was getting worried, so she texted Nena asking if she was all right. Nene replied saying that she just didn't feel like talking. The whole time she was there doing the unthinkable. And as Scoom and Lil Will were leaving the crib, the shooters were waiting for them, ready to snatch Lil Scoom's soul. And it turns out that Lil Scoom wasn't the only one who was backdoored with that level of planning, because when Julio Fulio was murked, there was a female in his camp dropping locations. While everyone in Jacksonville knows who was behind the rapper's death, Fulio's fans turned their attention to a woman they believe set up the rapper. According to some fans, she helped plan Fulio's party as well as helped set him up. Her post from that night showed that she was with the rapper. However, one post seemed a little suspicious and seemed to give away their location. So what's up? Come to Truth 18. Julio Fulio open till 6. The woman denied any involvement with the rapper's murder after she received numerous death threats from Fulio's fans. She took to her Instagram to clear her name, saying that she only posted what the rapper approved. We only shared a story post that we were approved to post by he himself for us twice share. The post of our flyer that we were tagged in a post too, that the artist himself posted. The whole night went perfect. No bad vibes, no negative energy. This was completely
I was there on
unexpected
both
being
of them
how well
nights.
the night went. Please stop with the fake rumors and posts which are entirely inaccurate and false, she posted. What's crazy is that after Fulio's killers were
Crazy 'cause
arrested,
my
police
brother
reports
DJ
showed
that
that the
teases
killers used a
at both
female
places,
to get
matter
one
of
of
fact.
Fulio's friends to drop his location. And
My
in
boy-
an
my boy
interview after
DJ at
Fulio's
both
death,
places, matter
Youngin
of fact,
Ace, Fulio's top op, revealed that he didn't trust females because they would easily get people killed in the street.
Rest in
Tell
peace,
my dogs,
Julio,
stay away from all
Fulio.
them. Yeah, drop your low. You don't f with. And don't think nobody shit you. I know for a fact somebody shit you.
What's crazy is that Fulio's mom, who has been working closely with cops, in her first interview, hinted at the same thing, women being used to set people up.
Thinking these girls, your friends and all that type of stuff, they try to set you up.
Females are really out here doing the most, and it won't be long before you hear yet another gang member who has been backdoored by a female. If you enjoyed this video, click on the
Melly.
boxes playing on your screen to watch similar content.
My thoughts on Gunna.
Whatever
you can create. Gunna is a great artist. Gunna is a great musician. Gunna should be him to the fullest, man. Gunna, you know what I'm saying? He got tricked. He wanted to get out too. Gunna ain't built for that shit. He's a real good artist. Rest in peace, Baron Alexander. G shit, rest up to all them. Rest up to all the fallen soldiers, all y'all fallen loved ones and shit. You know, all our people out here. But nah, Gunna is a I never really listened to Gunna music like that. I ain't gonna count. I'm not really a Gunna fan. I'm not really a fan of none of this new fucking music out this bit for real. You know what I fuck with though? You know, Melly got some shit that I listen to. I listen to what that shit is. I'm a rich nigga. I could buy what I want to. Yeah, that's my shit. I ain't gonna lie. I be jamming the hell out of that. Yeah. You a bad bitch. You could grunt what? You could fuck who you want to, bitch. Straight up. Disrespect the click, bitch. That's something you won't do. Yeah, I fuck with Melly. Who I fuck? Who else I listen to? I still listen to Bankroll Fresh. Man, I listen to Florida. So I listen to Kodak. I listen to Rod Wave. I listen to Tom G and shit like that, man. Swavel. Man. Lil Wayne. I still listen to Weezy, man. That's the GOAT, bitch. Give a fuck what nobody say, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you say. Did you hear the shit? New Weezy shit, man. Look. Alright. I don't even listen to Young Thug like that. That's the reason. That's one of the reasons. Man. Look. But nah, man. You know, Gunna fucked up when he said that shit was a game, though. That's some. He did make them boys' case harder. I ain't gonna cap. That's something he ain't supposed to did, especially against shows. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I said, the same people that own the labels, own the prisons, when they want to manipulate shit, they want to get certain out of certain artists and shit, they'll do that to their ass. It be other shit going on behind them walls that motherfuckers will never know. When it comes to them artists and shit, them big name artists, them niggas moving millions of dollars, them niggas got influence. It's a reason them niggas go through that shit. It's a reason why niggas get out and then you think they clone. That shit ain't no, and it's a reason they'll put the shit out in front of your face with a motherfucking movie on Netflix like Who Cloned Tyrone, and then they'll put out, man, all right, this shit don't be no motherfucking coincidence, man. This shit be purposely put out here to distract niggas, give you hints and clues about the shit that's really going on out this bitch for real. This shit really be fucking crazy, man. Just talking about aliens and all this shit. It's really what you want to choose to believe, man. They say it's people outside this bitch, out of space and spaceships and shit like that. I don't know. I ain't seen no news report on it. I be seeing shit in the sky. I've been seeing shit in the sky for 2 decades. Bitches thought I was crazy back then and shit. But I don't be shit. I ain't got no telescope. I'm not out there looking at. Who got a telescope? If you got a telescope, when you look out there, what you see? Nobody got no fucking telescope for real. If you got a telescope, look across the goddamn water first into somebody's house. Look all the way across the ocean. If you got a telescope, right, and the earth is flat, you should be able to look. You should be able to be on a beach, right, on the east coast of Florida and look across the motherfucking Atlantic Ocean to see Africa. That's what I think. Am I wrong though? Am I wrong for thinking shit like that? Ain't nobody ever thought to do no shit like that. I'd be over there spying on Africa like a bitch if I had a telescope, man. If I had a telescope and I'm on the east side of Florida, man, wherever I'm at, man, I'm over here. I'd be looking into Mexico. Since I'm on the west coast of Florida, I get me a telescope and I look that way across the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America. What is it still called? The Gulf of Mexico? Did Trump change that shit? Yeah. I remember he was finna change that bit to the Gulf of America. Anyway, I take me a telescope and look across that bitch to Mexico to see if that telescope really worked before, you know what I'm saying, I look out of space and see if this a real telescope. But do y'all see some shit out there in some spaceship? I don't know, man. I feel like I've already be up there with the spaceships and shit. Just can't tell me nothing. Shout out this nigga right here. He funny as fuck. I ain't playing that though. What I was finna look at? Yeah, man. Free Melly. I think I'm finna wrap this bitch up, man. It's 12. I appreciate y'all fucking with me. Lock in with me. Sub. You know, we hustlers on a mission every day, you feel me? Home Inc. TV. We in a lit house. You can fuck with me on Twitch and all that shit, you feel me? We in a lit house. Fuck that shade. Get paid. That's every single day. Real nigga reactions. Never forget. Real niggas do what they want to do. Bitch niggas do what they can. Hoe ass niggas gonna talk about it. And fuck niggas gonna hate. Regardless. I promise you that. So do your shit to the fullest, nigga. You feel me? And get you some R&R with a real nigga reaction. I'll catch y'all later, man. I don't know. Somebody said something about the baby, man. I ain't seen no shit about the baby. You talking about little baby? You talking about little baby or the baby? You want me to react to what? This nigga cooking or something? Ain't this nigga a cook now? This nigga streaming too? What the fuck is this shit keep popping shit up for? Nah, I ain't doing none of that right now. I'm off this bit, like I said. Love, it's all love. I fuck with y'all, man. I fuck with y'all. What else we doing? Shit, I might get on this 2K, but I'm finna go get me the 5, cause it ain't right, man. The 2-6 ain't right. I was trying to wait on that motherfucking shit from a computer to get on the shit on the computer the right way. I probably could do it, but I don't know how I'm gonna buy that bitch for the PS5. Put that bitch on a PC. I'll figure that shit out later though. But yeah, man, that's it. I ain't fucking with this shit. It ain't shit else on this bitch right now. Unless I wanted to laugh at some shit, but niggas like to do that pussy shit. You know, this YouTube with this guideline shit, this reaction shit, this shit switch up on you. Case of murder trial exposed state lawyers and judge use new evidence. Oh, unfair trial exposed. How? That nigga daddy took the motherfucking stand on him, man. They said that shit unfair. I don't even want to look at that. That man daddy took the stand on him, bro. Now that's the unfairity of it. They say Woody out here telling everything now since he done got a channel and shit. They paying that boy to tell it all now. That boy finna get all the money. That nigga finna be just telling shit just to tell shit. Man, when the fuck is this fight supposed to happen? And they say Mike Tyson fighting Floyd Mayweather. Don't nobody want to see that shit, bro. Don't nobody want to see Mike Tyson fight Floyd Mayweather, bitch. I hate when they do that shit trying to get some. Who the fuck want to see Mike Tyson fight Floyd Mayweather? Bitch, don't nobody. Bitch, who the fuck want to see that? Bitch. Now, Roy Jones and Mike Tyson was straight. That was a good fight. But, bitch, we know this for the money now. We definitely know this for the money. So y'all gonna put the two niggas that went against the other people for the money. Y'all think that shit it's gonna make the money, but y'all ass, boy, that shit is not. No, it's not. It's really not. Don't nobody want to see that shit. It's not gonna. I don't think nobody want to see that shit, bro. You know, people gonna want to see Floyd Mayweather. Like, who the fuck? Mike Tyson that need to hang it up, man. Mike, oh fuck. What the fuck kind of bills and expenses do this nigga Mike Tyson have, man? Don't this nigga got a whole fucking land of weed and shit? Like, He got a whole fucking farmland and shit. What the fuck going on? Like, what the fuck? He like, man, I'm gonna just try to get another couple million right quick about this shit. Then I'm really done. You damn sure go get you a couple million out that bitch now. You gonna get you a couple million. Cause you getting in there with Floyd. But Floyd ain't taking no fucking L. Even in no exhibition, bro. Especially the Mike Tyson to a nigga that done already lost too many times. But Floyd ain't even, man. Floyd gave that boy the same contract Jake Paul gave his ass. Floyd probably gave that the same damn contract with less money. Cause don't nobody want to see that shit. Who the fuck want to see that shit, bro? Don't nobody want to see that shit, bro. Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. Don't nobody want to see that shit, bro. I hope they were bullshit, but nah, they couldn't have been bullshit because they've been talking about this. I've been seeing too much shit pop up on my phone about this bullshit. And fighting 3, bro. And then you want to knock the old nigga out, bro. You dead ass.
Name? Ray Lewis. Go ahead. Ed Reed. You're good. My man.
And they got
You?
some personal shit going on
Kevin
too.
who? Kevin just turned $5 into $150 in
They had got
bonus
some.
bet.
They had definitely got some personal shit going on too from way back. I remember that shit. They were beefing this shit, and that's fucked up, man.
We getting ready.
Don't nobody want to see this shit, bro.
Well, oil machine, let's go.
Yes, I agree with this totally. I agree with that.
Look, I got marble head. We call him Lamp. His legs little than body is.
I agree with that 110%. Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones would have been a better fight. Nah, I fuck with that now. I fuck with that. Cause what? That would be the best. That would be the better fight. I ain't gonna lie. That would be the better fight. Roy Jones, that would be the better fight. No cap. No bullshit. That is definitely the better fight. The fight.
It's Lamp.
Don't nobody want to see motherfucking Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather fight, bro.
Of course. Of course. You know my saying. Everybody know my saying. All work is easy work. I'm putting to the easy work.
And then you think it's easy work. Mike Tyson, even it's easy work. The nigga old.
Shit.
The nigga old.
I'm pretty sure I'd be upset too if I was somebody else. I'd be mad at Mayweather too.
Easy work. It better be easy work.
29 years or 30 years, you can keep getting.
It better be easy work. I ain't gonna lie. It better be easy work. I think you should have did Roy Jones. I think Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather is a way better fight. I think that's what I think. Yeah. I think Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather is a better fight than Mike Tyson and Mayweather at this point. Like, why the fuck? Who the fuck? These niggas just pulling shit off a fight night, man. These niggas just doing shit off a fucking video game, bro. Niggas just doing this shit off like some fight night shit. Shit crazy, bro. Roy Jones and Mike Tyson is the better fight, bro. Why the fuck?
Money like this, I'd be mad too. Shit, I'd be hating on Mayweather too. Continue to hate. You know, people only talk about winners. I'm a winner, so continue to talk. Keep the bread fresh. Put it in the bag. Call me the bread man.
Tip money.
The bread man.
Fucking throw it in here, Tip. Throw it in the Floyd bag.
That bitch said, call me the bread man. Man, listen though. I think Roy Jones gives him a better fight. For sure. Roy Jones definitely give that boy a run for it. And Mike Tyson at this point in stage of their careers and their lives, yes, definitely easy work. But when you getting in that ring, nigga, you gotta remember. I hope he just don't go in that bitch playing and get his ass dropped. Mike Tyson would drop that boy on accident. A old nigga, a drop what? Flash shot, man. Man, don't let man, that nigga probably on the verge of having dementia or some shit too. Don't let that man flash shot and goddamn forget he old. That man flash shot forget he old and then he in shape. Man, get the fuck, you better look out. Watch out. You better motherfucker watch out, bitch. Definitely.
I'm a hustler on a mission, grinding for that spot, a brand new partner pissing, trying to school my partners, I don't think they pay attention, I'm sticking to my vision, on the road to the riches, every single day I'm a hustler on a mission, trying to get 100 M's, nigga, I ain't kidding, I'm on a mission, 24/7, 365, until I reach the heavens.